Raider Nation, what's going on? It's Mitchell Renz here, host of the Raiders Report, and I can't even believe I'm going to say this. This is our final live show of 2024, unless some crazy freaking breaking news happens today. Also, today is my dog Chuck's birthday. Get some HBDs down below for the good boy. I'm telling you this right now. When you think about how rough this entire season has been, and not only just the season, the entire offseason, because when you go through everything that we went through this offseason, all the hype around Antonio Pierce, everything looking forward to this season, and then it goes the way that it did, I'm just going to be real. I'm done with 2024. I'm ready to get into 2025, and quite frankly, there's nobody else I'd rather hang out with to get this new year started. So you know what? If you're going to be here partying with Chuggs and I today, if you're down to have a drink or two, let's just talk a little Raiders. The game plan for Jeremy and I is to be live for about 3 hours. Because today's Chuck's birthday, because today is New Year's Eve, I told Alex I would try to be home a little bit earlier than what I usually am. Therefore, that's why we're going to go live a little bit earlier today here on Tuesday. I know typically we go live at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Next week, we'll go live at 4 p.m. Eastern Time again. What we're going to be talking about here today, Aidan O'Connell, Antonio Pierce, Mike Vrabel. I'm going to tell you whether or not I'm rooting for the Raiders going up against the Los Angeles Chargers in the final game of the season. We're going to be answering some questions, hashtag Raiders, or you can super chat to skip the line and get those questions, comments. And then, I mean it, I want to say goodbye to 2024, and I'm down to get 2025 started with a bang. So you know what, Chuggs? If we can get right now 1,000 me comments down below, I'm doing a beer bong. I'm trying to get the party started. Because this show doesn't make any sense unless we get a little bit wet and wild today.
Let's get a little bit crazy.
If you're ready for 2025, spam me.
Uh-oh. We're not worthy.
Uh-oh.
I see Martin. I see Shy Guy, United, Taino Raiders in the chat. Ed Robbins in the chat. A horse and his beer both in the chat.
What kind of beer do you
Carter
think that is?
Harlow, Blue Richards, Jamari Murray, Artie Cervantes, Blue Richards. I see Nick. I see who else is in the chat. We Out Here Entertainment's out there.
Come on.
Where's the flag? Ray Romero. I see Alyssa's in the chat.
Ray Romano's here? That's freaking nuts, dude.
see Jerry's Island. I see...
He owns a whole island?
Michael Para. I see CG13310 Comptone.
You think that was his first choice at a name?
I think so.
All right.
I see Tycoon Backwoods, Luke Davis, Gatling Gun, Death Knight 3002, Luke Fisher, the Sewell family, Glenn Cardenas. I see Doreen Drum. I see Billy Gray Jr., Hammer Men.
All right, y'all.
Angelo Fortenberry.
Appreciate everyone tuning into the show. I do see a few people saying that our audio is a little bit choppy, and when Martin says it, I definitely listen to it. So I will say that's why we were about a minute or two late. Our audio was acting a little bit weird.
We are in a different studio.
We're in a totally different studio than what we usually are in. So, like, we're doing all this new construction here at Chat Sports. So, honestly, if anything sounds a little bit different, if anything looks a little bit different, please don't be afraid to tell us because we're in a totally new studio. You know what? I don't know if we got there or not, but I'm just kind of down to get down. Locho! Hey, Pookie Wookie. Had a great year watching y'all. Locho, man, I appreciate that. You know, I think the fact that people still enjoy this show, the fact that still, like, people want to tune in and just hang out with Jeremy and I think it's always, like, the biggest pat on the back. Like, you know, like most Raider fans are going to show up here on a game day. Most Raider fans are going to show up here for breaking news. But to show up on a random Tuesday on New Year's Eve just to hang out with Chuggs and I, just to talk a little bit of Raiders, I mean, like, that's how good friendships are born. That's why I love doing this thing. That's why I love hanging out with all of y'all. So, seriously, big old cheers to all of you out there for tuning in to today's show.
And cheers to today's sponsor over at Prize Picks. Get started today with America's #1, numero uno, daily fantasy sports app out there. Prize Picks. They are getting the new year started right over on Prize Picks. Get started today with our friends over there. Easy and exciting daily fantasy sports made easy. All you got to do, pick more, pick less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. It's that easy. Get started today with our friends over at Prize Picks, and they have a great deal for you. $50 instantly when you play $5 over on Prize Picks. That's $50 instantly When you play $5 over on Prize Picks, you don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It is guaranteed. So get started today with our friends over at Prize Picks.
So if you're wondering, hey, why do I need to watch the Raiders? You need something to root for. I totally get it, and that's why I want people to get started with Prize Picks. So download the app today. Use code CLNS. Get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Sign up today. Get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Download the app today.
Yep.
Use code CLNS. Get $50 instantly.
I will say this. I can hear our audio through my headset.
Our audio's fine.
Our audio's fine. I think it might be a YouTube issue.
If you think that it sounds a little bit choppy, I would say click restart on your video, and that honestly might fix it. So one of the ways that I know that our audio is okay, I know you guys can't see it up on screen, but I have like a bouncing bar that tells me how loud I am and like the peak perfect audio. I'm hitting that on my end, so if it does sound a little bit choppy, maybe just click refresh on your screen and then hop back in there. But hopefully it's not too bad. What up, Artie? I always have love for Mitch and Chuggs, and I think like when we see people here that are always pulling up, I mean it. It's cool.
CG, all love to you, brother, but I will say it is Comptone at the end of your name.
What?
There's an E at the. He said it's Compton, Chuggs.
Oh,
but
there isn't an E.
There is an E at the end of your name.
Yep. I mean, you're not wrong there. I think when you come up with certain names, I don't know how we always come up with certain names. Real Cowboy, make sure you lift your left foot tonight at midnight so you start the new year off on the right foot. LOL. I actually have never heard that. I'm probably going to do that. So what, you lift up your left foot, that way you start off the new year on the right foot. I kind of like it. One of the things I know Alex's family always does is I have to eat grapes. I have to eat grapes, and every grape that I eat is a wish. I've never done that before.
Huh. He said that's Compton in Spanish. All right.
See, now that makes a little bit more sense.
El Capitan.
El Capitan. You know what? You want to be the captain of this ship? Today's super chat menu is as follows. Every 100 likes, I'm taking a shot. Taking a shot.
Do you have a shot?
Do I have a shot? I got some stuff over here. Maybe not the liquor that I wanted. Though, I think also this is what we need. We need to go get the tequila bottle to show what the December Bang MVP gets. Then we also need to go get some of that Fireball. Every 10 that we get today, I got spicy jelly beans, and I also got the regular Bean Boozled, which are like the most disgusting jelly beans you could possibly have. If you want to get in for a chance to win some money, Duck Race, $20 Venmo at Mitchell Renz 365. Let's get a little bit weird. Let's get a little bit wet and wild today. We'll also talk about some of the college football games. Jalen Milroe is really struggling right now. Also, for those of you that don't know, again, I said it, today's Chuck's birthday. And some of you, I don't know how many people out there have seen Squid Game. Raise your hand. Type Y for yes, N for no.
Raise your hand. Now in the chat, let me know if your hand is raised.
Now, while that hand is up, I want you to type with that hand and let me know if you're here. Give me a yes, give me a no. Have you seen Squid Game? The reason why that I ask is a lot of the gifts, hopefully Chuck's not listening to this, a lot of the gifts that Alex and I got Chuck this year were around the show Squid Game. Alex and I really love it, and we watched it like right before we ended up getting Chuck, so it's always like a very we hold the show very near and dear to our heart. Anyway, they play a game.
Not anymore.
They play a game called roulette, and it's literally like with a gun, there's a bullet, they spin it, and you got a 1 out of 6 chance of losing that game forever. Today, Chuggs and I are going to play boot roulette. Every time somebody sends in a 50, you got a 1 out of 6 chance. A 1 out of 6 chance of Jeremy, Chuggs, or I doing a boot here on today's show. So if it lands on Mitch boot, I got to do one. If it lands on Jeremy boot, he's got to do one. But just like Squid Game, if it lands on a nothing, we take out that nothing. So then the next one, the odds are 1 out of 11. The next one, the odds are 1 out of 10.
Two out of.
Sure. As soon as it hits either Mitch or Jeremy boot, we reset the wheel. That's how boot roulette is going to end up getting down. I'll go first. Or I guess it doesn't matter. It's just whoever gets it gets it.
Yeah, whoever it lands on.
All right, yeah, shit. No, it's totally different. Every $100 bang, we're going to spin the dreidel. It's going to be a little bit different. If you're somebody that wants to compete in our bang competition, every 50 will count as one bang. Though if you send in a 100, we're going to do a beer bong, and we are going to spin the dreidel. So this is something that we used to do before. If it lands on Shim, That bang that you sent in counts as 1. If that bang that you sent in lands on none, you get 2 bangs. If it lands on hay, it's 3. If you get Gimmel, it counts as 5 bangs. And I got a special thing for if it lands on Gimmel. So if you don't know what our December bang competition looks like, right now 93 Nabman leads the way with 22, then followed by Patrick B, Taino Raider, Common Raider, and then Venthrak. Whoever comes in first place, today is the final day of our December bang race.
Aww.
Whoever comes in first place gets a a special edition 1800 bottle of tequila that's got the Raiders logos on it. So 1800 gave away only a certain amount. We got one of them, and whoever is the MVP, I guess, of December, you're going to go home with one.
I actually need to go grab that.
Please do. And you're obviously going to go home with a December bang jersey. So Navman, good luck to you, Patrick B. Everybody out there, seriously, good luck to each and every one of y'all. We got 420 people watching the show right now. If you want a shout out here on this bad boy, I want y'all to spam David Zahn down below, because David Zahn wants to get this party going. And I'm not kidding you, Zahn, if this lands on me, I'm going to do a Zahn boot. I'm going to do a Zahn boot out of the Chuggs Pimp Cup. That's a lot of different moving parts there. What is up? What is up? Shy Guy, I get it. Dylan Erickson shouting out to Zahn. I got Brian NYC, Luda,
Donald,
Jeff Garcia.
After seeing Milrow, that's a hard pass.
What's bad here is this. Yesterday, Jeremy and I, we made some extra videos that you guys will get to see, over the next few days, because the schedule here is kind of weird at Chat Sports due to the holidays. I'm just going to tell you, I got a mock draft coming out with Jalen Milrow. So the people that are watching this live, I did it before the bowl game. The people that don't see this live, it's all good. I still think I got a pretty good value on him. Let's go to my man, David Zahn. Bang! So, that's the first time we get to see how this boot roulette wheel ends up going down. Also to Sam On, and also, I want to say Venthrak. We ended in a tie on Sunday, and I said between Venthrak and Sam On, if one of those guys bangs today, you win Week 17 MVP. Oh my goodness!
Okay.
That's close, dude.
And see, I told you, since it didn't land on
Oh! T.J. Parkinson! Bang!
But since it landed on nothing, I'm going to remove that one. So now there's only 9 nothings.
Now there's only 9 nothings and 2 chances for a boot. I'm telling you this right now, this wheel could ruin our day. This wheel could absolutely, positively ruin our day. T.J. Parkinson came here to party. SSG showing love to him.
I'll be right back. I got to go get
Listen to him. If TJ banged, if you're over 21, make sure you pour one up with one.
We needed
Pour one up with us.
We needed
the 1800 bottle. We need the 1800 bottle. There's also one more thing that we need that I can't think of. I can't remember it. Oh, Fireball. We need Fireball. That's what we need. Let's get the party started, my brothers. Thank you for all that you do. You know what, TJ? Before you go, can you spin the dreidel? That way we know what TJ Parkinson ended up getting. Blue Richards, I see ya, I see ya. CG, I see ya. All right, this is for TJ. And it landed on Shin. What does that mean? Shin's the number 1, right? So, TJ Parkinson gets a bang. But don't worry, TJ. I am going to be able to add you in here. TJ Parkinson got his 1 bang. Love it, love it, love it. Also, if you guys could, please don't be afraid. Get those questions, get those comments flowing on today's show. I do owe Mr. Parkinson a beer bong right now. Also, touchdown, Jalen Milrow. What a throw. Patrick B. Bang! Come on, Patrick B. Come on, Patrick B. Seriously, I love to party, but let's get the questions in just like Patrick B did. Then we could also answer these bad boys during the mailbag. With all of the holes we have on both sides of the ball, I don't want to trade years' worth of picks for one of these two quarterbacks. Lots of excellent offensive line, wide receiver, linebacker, DBs in the draft. Let's fill some of those holes so we can plug in at QB. I'll say this, Patrick B. First off, I don't disagree with you of the idea of right now if the Raiders are picking number 8, I had a lot of people get angry with me when I said, I think if the Raiders wanted to trade up from 8 all the way up to 1, I said it would cost you your 3 first picks this year, so technically your first rounder, your second rounder, and your third rounder this year, your first and your second round pick next season, and a player of Colton Miller's status. I know that is an insane amount, but that's also why I told a lot of people, like, if you were somebody that wanted Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward, if you're somebody that didn't want Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward, I do think that the Raiders winning these last 2 games should make you a little bit more nervous because I don't really think a lot of people disagree with you, Patrick, where I don't think a lot of people disagree and they go, we do have a lot of holes on a lot of other spots on the field. Offense, defense, going to lose a lot of players to free agency. I mean, think about just defense alone, right? Trevon Merrick, Marcus Epps, Divine Diablo, Robert Spillane, Malcolm Kuntz, Adam Butler. I mean, Nate, I don't even know if I said Nate Hobbs already, but, like, those are the ones right off the top of my head. Like, we got to be able to replace some of those players as well. Then on top of that, you got to be able to replace some guys on the offensive side of the football. So trading up all those picks, it does. It scares the hell out of me. And I don't really disagree with you. That's why I said that don't be surprised when the J.J. McCarthy to the Raiders rumors start circulating. Not that they're guaranteed to happen. I think that they're going to happen. Vic Tafur had an interesting article that talked about J.J. McCarthy as a quarterback option. What? No fireball. That's a lot of tequila. So whoever wins the December bang race, you're going to go home. So this is an unopened 1,800 bottle of tequila. Chuggs says that you should wait until the Raiders win a Super Bowl until you open it. But sounds like I owe shots. So every 100 likes, we're doing tequila shots today, which is going to be bad news for this guy. It's going to be bad news for this guy. There are a lot of good players out there, though, that you could look at a lot of different positions. Also, the Raiders have a lot of money to spend in salary cap. Patrick, I hear you loud and clear, man. I would say this, though. If you think this, you're going to – I think you're going to like my mock draft that I put out later in the week. You might not like the quarterback, but I think you'll like what I ended up doing here. This one's going out for Patrick frickin' B. Gimmel! Patrick B. Gimmel means that counts as 5 bangs, which also means Patrick B. is now 3 bangs away from passing 93 Navman for our December bang race. And you know what, Chuggs? I got a Gimmel bong. I haven't brought this thing out since Rich Bisaccia. We were calling them Bisaccia bongs. Well, you know what? It's the holidays. We're doing Gimmel bongs here on the Raiders Report. Give me a Gimmel bong. Though I am a little bit nervous about this. I am a little bit nervous about how this is going to end up going down. I don't know who the last person was to use that, but that reminds me of how I used to think cilantro tastes. Like soap. It's like soap in there. It's a soapy, soapy mess. It's a soapy, soapy mess.
And not the good kind.
Mm-mm.
All right, so we already got it going today. Remember also, we have a duck race going on. We got a lot on our New Year's special extravaganza.
Bottom line, I just want to hang out and talk Raiders with you guys until I have to go home and have New Year's Eve. Like that. I mean, Chuggs and I were like, what do we do today?
I
we
do
party
like
with the nation.
I do like the questions coming in on Super Chat.
Yep.
But also, don't forget, if you can't Super Chat, send in hashtag Raiders. I'm going to put at least 4 or 5 hashtag Raiders questions in on today's show.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can't spend money on a super chat, that's all good.
Okay.
Get your question in just like Miguel is.
Yep.
Using hashtag Raiders, I promise I'll pull at least 5 questions from hashtag Raiders.
Yeah, we're going to pull some of those. I would say hashtag Raiders is like waiting in line at Disney. Super chat is like Fast Pass.
Miguel, make sure the R is right next to the hashtag. You have a space in between hashtag and Raiders.
Correct. So I know that might seem like a little bit of a, but it's our system. It just takes all the questions that say hashtag Raiders, and it's how we can put them up on screen. Because that way Chuggs doesn't have to individually cat meme type them out.
We do have a bunch of super chats to catch up on. Michael's Penix.
Oh, man.
That's a great new photo as
Falcons host is my new buddy. Trade for me. Petey's one of the best in the biz. Petey does a lot of really, really awesome content here. And if you're a Falcons fan, even if you're not, I think you should go over to that Falcons watch party in Week 18, and it's going to be a wild one. I mean, they need the win for a chance to get in. Wow. I'm not going to lie. I was hoping to see some fingernails start flying off.
well.
Nick Sanchez, what's up, fellas? Happy New Year. You hear any rumors about Bucks OC being a head coach candidate for us? I heard that, but don't think that it's true. I mean, there's going to be a lot of different rumors. There's going to be a lot of different speculation on who's going to be the next Raiders coach. I do think that Liam Cohn is a good name to keep in mind. He was somebody that had some success at Kentucky. He was also has some interesting ties when it comes to just his NFL and we'll call it college football coaching background. He's done a lot of really good work with Baker Mayfield. You got to be able to give him his flowers there. But I've said this for 2 months now. If Mike Vrabel wants the job, it's going to be Mike Vrabel's job. If he doesn't want it, then we're going to open up a whole new bag of worms. We're going to be looking at a lot of different candidates. But to me, I think it's Mike Vrabel or it's Antonio Pierce.
You want to get a little wild?
I'm listening.
We were going to do our segment first.
Uh-huh.
There's a ton of questions using the super chat and
hashtag
hashtag Raiders. Do you want to do that first?
Let's get after it. Let's do a mailbag right now.
Y'all care if we do the mailbag first? If you're cool with that, Y for yes, N for no. Are you cool with us doing the mailbag first and then the segment second?
We do have 2 segments. Like I said, we're going to do one of the mailbags or we're going to do a mailbag. And then the other segment that we're going to do is just around some of the Raiders rumors that have happened here today. Man! Bang! Oh, no! The big bad wolf is here.
I thought it was only fair. I messaged him to let him know that we went live early.
Okay.
And I messaged him that people are trying to challenge him because he didn't get a chance to defend his title last month.
That's very true. Very, very true. I'll also say this. Venthrak, I know you're here. You and Sam On ended in a tie in Week 17 for our bang competition. I said it on yesterday's show. If you missed it, it's on y'all. I said, if Venthrak or Sam On, first one of y'all to bang here on today's show, you win our Week 17 MVP football, and you win our Week 17 MVP prize. So,
Navman says, bring it on. What's the count? I kind of feel like Vrabel is kind of the same rah head coach as AP, but he surely has a track record of success. I agree with the Brady connection and how that dynamic will work.
Yeah, I'll say this, and I know a lot of people are nervous about going from AP to Mike Vrabel because Vrabel also is a SEO style of head coach. The other thing, though, is Vrabel has got that proven track record, which I agree with, and he's a smarter-minded coach. Like, I think people are afraid to go to Vrabel after how bad AP was because AP just didn't manage it well. I think when you find somebody like Vrabel that's got a lot of success, Vrabel's got a lot of respect. Like, he's the better version of Antonio Pierce. He's also going to get the respect from Tom Brady. I think you're going to see a lot of people want to play for him. Guys are going to go out there and play their hearts out. But I understand everybody out there, and I'll say this. If you were a team that was absolutely positively going to draft a quarterback at number 1 overall, cool. But this also doesn't really screw up the Raiders' plan. And the Raiders' plan has kind of been this for, months. And I think a lot of people that watch the show know this, where, they're going to hire Mike Vrabel. And then on the offensive side of the football, they're going to look for a coach. They're going to look for an offensive coach that's got head coaching experience. Like, they want somebody to be a CEO type of guy, but then also be able to be like that head coach on defense, kind of the way Patrick Graham is, and a head coach on offense. That's what they wanted at Cliff Kingsbury because they knew Cliff Kingsbury had head coaching experience. So I'm telling y'all right now, a sneaky, sneaky name to keep in mind is Chip Kelly. Chip Kelly, sneaky, sneaky name. Let's see what 93 Navman ends up getting. So Navman, here's how it goes. If it lands on Gimmel, that bang that you just did counts as 5. It landed on Hay. So that bang, Navman, that you just did counts as 3. We're getting a little bit creative here on today's show, which now means Navman for this month, 25 bangs, which is still incredible, man. Which is still absolutely, positively incredible. Though, Patrick B., this one could get pretty damn interesting, man.
Before we get going in our mailbag, which we're going to do the mailbag first. Everybody said that that's kind of what they wanted to do.
I'm in. I like it.
I want to know from y'all, what's your Raiders New Year's resolution? What is your Raiders New Year's resolution?
I think Robin Bond says, you're such a buster. Stop watching because of your BS takes on AP. If you stop watching me because of my takes on AP, but yet you're commenting here, I would say a good New Year's resolution for you is don't show up to things that you don't want to be a part of.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine going to a restaurant that you hate?
I know. Imagine going to a party that you don't want to go to. You're like, I can't believe I'm going to show up there, and not only am I going to show up, I'm going to make sure everybody knows that I'm here.
I am upset.
I hate being here. I am never going to come here again.
Miguel says to be over 500. Ray says to get more Raiders gear. SSG just says have a good 2025. I'm going to say sweep the Chiefs. Sweeping the Chiefs would be, the Chiefs are by far my most hated team in the NFL. Chiefs and Cowboys are right there, 1 and 2. Nothing would make me happier than if the Chiefs had a losing record to the Raiders in 2025.
My real, actual New Year's resolution is to have honestly, an amazing 2025, just so, there's a lot of stress in my life. I'm getting ready to get married in June, so, saving up for a wedding, that's hella stressful. Saving up for a honeymoon, that's hella stressful. Also, everything going on with my personal career, the Raiders, Did
you already ask Brett for time off?
Yeah, I'm already in trouble with that, though. But, I want to make sure that my 2025 is as smooth sailing as possible. And, for me, it's taking a step back, taking a deep breath, and realizing, it's going to be all right. I'm getting married, So that's, my personal thing, just taking a step back. My Raiders New Year's resolution is to find hope. And what do I mean by that? I want legit hope in a team. Not like this, it's just a brand new season. I'm hoping that it's great. And I think a lot of people, when you think about this season that was about to happen, we had that blind Raiders hope of, I just want a new season, and I'm going to root for the Raiders year in and year out, and that's how it goes. But I think a lot of us, deep down, were like, it's Gardner Minshew and Aidan O'Connell at quarterback. This year could be bad. I want hope in 2025 as a Raiders fan, whether that means us getting a good head coach, whether that means us getting a franchise quarterback, whether that means us following my 2025 plan of success, which that video is going to drop tomorrow here on the Raiders Report, so make sure you're subscribed. What do we got here? Let me see some of these. Gatling gun. Yo, Mitch. So legit. Love you guys. Appreciate that. Deplorable Raider.
Said, you didn't read the last part. He said Chuggs is a pimp.
Chuggs, you be a pimp. That's why he's got the pimp cup, man. Mm-hmm. Yep. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Thoughts on Pete Carroll as the new head coach? Not going to happen. Should the Raiders hire Ben Johnson if Mike Vrabel doesn't get hired by the Raiders?
That actually sounds like a good question for the mailbag that we're going to do right now.
I like it a lot.
Let's go. Get those hashtag Raiders questions in. We're going to start with
lot.
our mailbag.
Also, Jamari Murray is the only one that is in for this duck race. Reminder, $20 Venmo at Mitchell Renz 365.
I was going to say, I actually haven't even shown them.
For a chance to get in. You can scan that QR code. Let's have a little bit of fun. Let's win some money. I don't know who's going to end up winning, but good luck to all of y'all out there. We do have 500 people here in this joint.
Since it's New Year's, can the next 5 people get 2 ducks?
I'll allow it. Also, we did cross 200 likes, so that's going to be a shot for you and a shot for me. Which, I'm not going to lie to you, this tequila,
Terrific.
it's not what I want.
Yeah.
It's not what I want at all.
We are out of Fireball. We were actually out of Happy Dads. We had to send somebody to the grocery store at like 10 a.m. to get 6-pack. So some grocery store clerk just saw a young man walk into the grocery store at 10 a.m. to grab six packs of Happy Dads.
This guy is fiending.
To a happy, healthy new year. Screw the Chiefs. Love you all. L'chaim. Woo!
I think we got to start getting some limes for 2025.
Yep, limes would be great.
It's never going to get easier. Holy crap, dude. The first one, I mean, I'm not kidding you. I could make an argument that a tequila shot wakes me up more than chugging a Red Bull. I'm not kidding you. Like
Milrow deep!
Caught! All the way down to the 6!
Go, go, go!
Holy cow.
19 seconds left in the half.
All right, we'll go after half. Once it's halftime, we'll go into the mailbag here. Michigan's up 16-7 over Alabama. Jalen Milrow is going to spike it.
Wow.
He's going to spike it. Could that be the new Raiders quarterback? We are going to see. Seriously, am I the only one when you take a shot of tequila? It's like, it wakes me up. Like my entire body right now, I don't know if you guys can see it. I got like chills.
I get like, well, I was just about to say, I get like warm.
I am. Oh, you know what it is? It's like that pre-workout feeling. Not like the ants are crawling all over me, but I definitely just took some pre-workout. I mean, am I the only one that gets like that from tequila? Let me know down below. Are you the same way? Y for yes, N for no. All right, we're going to get into this mailbag here in just a second, but this Alabama-Michigan game is 16-7. Jalen Milrow in the red zone. Ball to 6. Milrow looks right, throws high, almost picked.
Oh, and then he almost caught it.
Holy cow. I mean, you want to talk about a terrible throw by Milrow. He's looking at the back right corner.
What was he doing?
I don't know what he's doing there. He's looking at the back right pylon, throws it, but he threw it right to the defender. Luckily, the defender, I actually think if the defender gets 2 hands up there, that's picked. The defender hits it with 1 hand. I mean, what are you doing?
Just catch it.
He tries to knock it out of the way, but he knocks it straight up and almost lands into the hands of Alabama. 3rd down and goal. Ball at the 6. Shotgun. Receiver's going to go in motion. 1 to the right, 2 to the left. Milrow, shotgun. Got a running back on his right hip. Michigan brings some pressure. Milrow gets rid of it. Open. Missed him.
Do you go for it or kick the field goal?
Kick the field goal. Make it a 1-possession game.
Yeah.
Kick the field goal, you make it a 1-possession game. I mean, I'll tell you this right now, though. A lot of pressure.
Bad throw, too.
It's not a good throw. Like, he's open.
He has the slant on the backside.
Yeah, I mean, he had 2 guys open there, and he missed technically both of them. Oh, man. North Las Vegas says, no way Brady would take Milrow. That's what I was told a few weeks ago. Again, my conversations were more based on round 1. But I agree. I mean, they're not going to take Milrow in round 1. I would say Milrow is probably going to be a round 2, round 3 target, if at all. All right, y'all, let's get into today's mailbag. We got 500 people watching this show. If we get to 300 likes, tequila shot. If we get to 400 likes, tequila shot. 500 likes, tequila shot. All I'm saying is tequila shot.
That's all I'm saying.
That's it. That's all I'm going to say for the next... Well, we're going to be live here for another 2.5 hours. If you want me to say nothing but tequila for 2.5 hours, tequila. Raider Nation, it's mailbag time. I'm Mitchell Renz, host of the Raiders Report, and today's show was filmed on Chuck's birthday, December 31st. If you guys want to spam Chuck down below, that's my guy right there. Next live show that we're going to be doing is going to be Sunday, January 5th at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, an hour 25 before the Raiders and the Chargers get kicked off in Week 18, so you make sure you better show up. If you're not here, it's all good. You know what? It's not okay. You not showing up and being your best in 2025. Panda Sups is going to help you do that. Use code Raiders for 20% off at pandasups.com. It's the products I use to get into the shape that I need to get into for my wedding. And I think that you guys would really enjoy them as well. Let's go to Bird Person. What a name. Shout out to Rick and Morty. If you were to trade Aidan O'Connell, what draft compensation do you think that we would get? To be honest, I don't know if there's going to be an NFL team out there that would trade for Aidan. I know that he's only getting $1.2 million. I'd say at best you're getting like a 6th-round pick. And I know what Aidan has proven, but there's not a lot of NFL teams that need a quarterback that would go out and try to trade for Aidan. I think, if anything, a team that would trade for Aidan would be more of a team that's looking for like a backup quarterback that they could put behind a young rookie that they ended up just drafting. Here's the thing, though. If I'm the Raiders, I don't really want to trade Aidan. I want to keep him at $1.2 million because whether that's a starter, don't want it to be, or whether it's a backup, Aidan's a great backup at $1.2 million. Let's go to Patrick B. With all the holes we have on both sides of the ball, I don't want to trade years' worth of picks for one of those two quarterbacks, talking about Shador, talking about Cam Ward. Lots of excellent players in the draft. Let's fill the holes. I don't disagree. This is one of the reasons why I said I think a lot of Raiders fans out there that don't want Cam Ward and don't want Shador Sanders should be a little bit nervous about the Raiders potentially trading up. I know when I do trades, people think that I'm like reporting on a trade. I'm not reporting on a trade. If anything, I give my idea of what it would cost, and I do. I think it would end up costing the Raiders your 3 picks this year, your 3 first picks this year, 2 picks next season, a first and a second, and a high-caliber player of Colton Miller. I don't think it's going to cost as much what it did last season to go get Caleb, Jaden, because those quarterbacks are a little bit higher thought of, but it's still going to cost you an arm and a leg, and for the amount of holes that the Raiders have, I think if you're the silver and black, you're going, are we going to spend big in the draft, or are we going to spend big in free agency? You got to make a choice. Let's go to Nick Sanchez. What's up, fellas? Happy New Year. And any rumors about the Bucs OC Liam Cohen being a head coach candidate for us? I heard that, but don't think that it's true. You know, I think that it's okay to hear rumors and at least, like, wonder if it's true. Like, anything could be true at this point. That's why, like, I get so upset at times when people are like, oh, this guy's just talking about rumors. It's important to talk about rumors. It's important to talk about all of the what-ifs, because as soon as you find somebody that thinks that they know everything, I mean, you shouldn't watch that person anymore. Can Liam Cohen be an option? Sure. But Mike Vrabel is option A, and if Mike Vrabel says no, then there's going to be some other options on the table. But I would say that there is a 1% chance that Liam Cohen is our head coach next season. Let's go to SSG. Our running back room sucks, Mitch, so don't get any other quarterbacks. Do you draft Ashton Genty? I think Genty is the best running back in this year's class, and I would tell you, SSG, if you haven't, go check out my mock draft that's going to be coming out this week. The problem with Genty, it's not so much Genty. We go right back to the Josh Jacobs argument, where I hate when people say, oh, the Raiders should have brought back Jacobs. Look at what he's doing in Green Bay. Jacobs isn't doing what he's doing in Green Bay, what he's doing with the Raiders. You need to have a good offense, a good offensive line, a good quarterback, and then you go find that running back. Like, the running back needs to be the missing piece to get all the wheels in the cog going. Like, look at Saquon Barkley on a bad football team on the New York Giants. And then look at Saquon Barkley on a good football team like the Philadelphia Eagles. Look at Derrick Henry on a bad football team like the Titans the year before. Look at Derrick Henry on a good football team like the Ravens. It can't just simply be this running back special. Is Ashton Genty special? Yes. But I'm worried Ashton Genty would look average on a bad Raiders football team. Let's build up the team, and then let's go get a running back. Let's go to Patrick. Will Sunday be AP's last game with us? Oh, man, I do really think it is. And it's one of those kind of bittersweet situations, because I do want the Raiders to go out and hire a new head coach. But at the same time, I do think that AP did get a little bit of shorthand of the stick. I don't think that he did a good job with the hand that he was dealt. But if I was a betting man, I would say yes. Antonio Pierce's last game as the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders is going to be this Sunday, Week 18, against the Chargers. And if you guys want, please hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications. Make sure you pull up with Jeremy Chuggs and I. We're going to be going live again an hour 25 early, just to tailgate party and just to send off this season maybe on a high note. But this is going to be the pinned comment on today's show. Give me a yes or give me a no. Will Sunday be Antonio Pierce's last game as a Raiders head coach? My answer coming up after this YouTube ad break. I'm going to say yes, this is going to be the final year for AP. It's going to be Mike Vrabel in 2025. The only way Vrabel is not the head coach next season is if he says no to the job, takes the Ohio State job. I think that that's the most likely spot. Now, if Vrabel says no, Antonio Pierce, I would say, has about a 50% chance of coming back. But if AP is unable to bring back Patrick Graham, if AP is unable to bring back that defensive side of the football, I don't see why there's any reason in hell that we would do that, because Patrick Graham, I believe, is technically a free agent at the end of this season, so he can go wherever he wants if he wants to go. To me, it's AP and Patrick Graham. I don't want just Antonio Pierce. Let's go to Dylan Erickson. If the Vikings are willing to trade J.J. McCarthy, what's a realistic trade that it would cost to get him? Also, how much would you be willing to give up? So I've actually already done a whole show on this, Dylan. I put it out last week, and I said it was based on the Raiders having the number 6 overall pick. If I was the Minnesota Vikings and I took J.J. McCarthy at number 10 overall and I knew what I had in Sam Darnold, like, there's no reason why, if I'm Minnesota, I don't take a page out of Green Bay's playbook of, let's have a really good quarterback sit behind another really good quarterback and have them learn like Brett Favre, like Aaron Rodgers, like Jordan Love. And I could see Minnesota potentially doing that with Sam Darnold and J.J. McCarthy. So if you're going to go out and you're going to try to trade for somebody that they took at number 10 overall, I think it costs your first-round pick. Would you be willing to give up the number 8 overall pick in this year's draft to go get J.J. McCarthy? For me personally, I wouldn't be willing to do that because I'm not a big J.J. believer, but I know Tom Brady likes him, and I know Tom Telesco really likes him. If you think that this is a crazy story, a crazy rumor, I think it's time to wake up here a little bit. Let's go to Nate May. I wasn't directing that at you, by the way. Whoever the OC is next season, he needs to get Mayer more involved in the offense. Bowers and Mayer could be unstoppable in the red zone. Nate May, hallelujah. I don't know how else I could say this. I think when you talk about one of the most disappointing things about this season, it was how little utilized the 12 personnel tight end zones were going to be. Like, we heard so much about Brock Bowers, Michael Mayer, 12 personnel, 12 personnel, 12 personnel. It really did not get utilized. And I think for a team like the Raiders that lost Devontae Adams, do you need to replace Devontae some way this offseason? Yeah. You got to do it either in free agency or you can do it in the draft. But the other thing that you got to do a better job is you got to utilize the talent that you have. Brock Bowers, dog. Jacoby Myers, dog. I think Michael Mayer, if you used him correctly, could be a hell of a football player. But I agree with you. We need to utilize both those guys a little bit more. Let's go to Sir Chai. I do recommend the Raiders draft 2 quarterbacks in the 2025 NFL draft. But one more point. I think if Mike Vrabel's head coach, you are going to see a lot more 2 tight end sets because of the way the Patriots used to play. Anyway, 2 quarterbacks in the 2025 NFL draft. I would say 2 QBs might be a bit of a stretch, and the only reason why that I say that it's a stretch is because you do have Aidan O'Connell. And because you do have Aidan O'Connell, there's already some uncertainty there in the organization. So if you bring in 2 more guys, that means that you have to give a lot of attention to those 2 guys, and you can't really pay so much attention to Aidan. To me, the Raiders would be smart in drafting only 1 quarterback, though I do know for a fact that I was told, again, it's 3 weeks ago when the Raiders had a chance at the number 1 pick, that they were at least considering taking 2 QBs. One of those quarterbacks, I guarantee it, I shouldn't say guarantee, because a lot has changed. One of those quarterbacks could be Dylan Gabriel, who they like a lot. Let's go to a horse and his beer. Going to duck out and do some cleaning. Happy birthday. Happy Hanukkah. Happy New Year. See all of y'all on Sunday. Horse and his beer, one of the realest in the game. And I'm going to hopefully see all of y'all on Sunday. Subscribe. Tune in. I'm rooting for the Raiders to beat the Chargers. Spoiler alert if you don't already know that. But if the Raiders win, it can hurt the Chargers. So I'm in on that. TJ. Where will we be if we lose today in the draft? So you're talking about on Sunday. If the Raiders lose, I'm going to be real with you. We're going to be somewhere around pick 8. If the Raiders lose, you need a lot of other help, and that's simply because of strength of schedule. Like, the Raiders have the hardest strength of schedule for of all the 4-win teams, so therefore you fall down a little bit. That's not true. Actually, Chicago they're right up there as well. If you're Las Vegas, you're going to be picking somewhere between 7 to 10 is probably where you're going to end up being no matter if you win or lose on Sunday. Adrian, I was at the game in New Orleans. Even with our record, Raider Nation always shows we could take over Bourbon Street as well. I'll say this, though, to Adrian, because I got a lot of friends that are, down there in that area, and they told me, they were like, this is one of the most empty games that I've ever seen. Because if you're a Saints fan and you know that Derek Carr's not playing, the Saints have been actually worse than the Raiders over the past few weeks, and then you're going to see a Raiders team that's also totally out of it. Like, those were tickets that were sold. So I don't know if I would brag about taking over a stadium that's nobody's there. It would kind of be like I don't know, if a Saints fan were to brag about taking over Allegiant Stadium in a season that nobody cares about. Like, I'd say, cool, see me next year on week 1. Now, man, the big bad wolf of December, right now currently leading our December bang race. Bring it on. What's the count? Right now, as it stands, Nabman is in the lead. Do I think Vrabel is kind of like a rah-rah head coach as AP? Yeah, I get that. He's still a CEO type of head coach, but he's actually a really good head coach, right? Like, this guy won Coach of the Year in 2021. Very, very widely respected from top to bottom for players, coaches, staff members, all that kind of stuff. And with the Brady connection, I think that it's going to be a very interesting dynamic that could work out. Mike Vrabel, I understand why people are afraid of AP. That shouldn't make you afraid of a guy like Vrabel. To me, Vrabel is kind of like a Greg Maddux, where he's not going to wow you calling plays on offense, calling plays on defense, but the guy's going to spot up, and he's going to get a lot of dudes out because he's got it up here. And I think a lot of coaches, to me, I wouldn't say Mike Vrabel is an Antonio Pierce. I would say Mike Vrabel is a Mike Tomlin, where when he walks into a room, he commands respect, and he's going to get respect. And even though he doesn't call plays on offense or defense, you know, Mike Vrabel's kind of got that grandpa in him, where when my grandfather would walk into a room, he'd command the room. Why? Because people demand respect. Patrick B., if AP is no longer the head coach and PG leaves, could AP be a DC instead of head coach? I hope not. And I do think that Antonio Pierce is a good coach. Let me be very clear. I think Antonio Pierce is a good coach in the NFL. I just don't think that he's cut out to be a head coach. I also don't think that he's cut out to be a defensive coordinator. I think, to me, when you look at what AP is really good at, he's a hype man. And that's what he is, right? Like, when he had the ball in his court to make big-time decisions, I think he fell a little bit flat on that. But if you need a hype man, and I think that that's the perfect position for a linebackers coach, for a guy that understands special teams, like, he's going to get more opportunities. But I don't think that he's defensive coordinator, head coach type of material. He's a great coach to have on your coaching staff. So do you want the Raiders to bring back Patrick Graham? I want you to type B for bring back or type L for let walk. I know that it's not very likely that PG returns next season based on some of the things that I've heard. But at the same time, a man can wish. I do think Patrick Graham is one of the better defensive coaches, but I also think it's how great the defensive staff is. You got to give a lot of credit to Patrick Graham, a Duke guy, a very good teacher. And when you see the success of a Tyree Wilson, of a Caleb Von Chasen over the past few weeks, that's because of Rob Leonard. That's because of Patrick Graham. That's because of this defensive staff. So, yes, I'm B, bring him back. No way the Vikes trade J.J. McCarthy. If I've learned one thing in my time working in the NFL, saying no way is never a smart thing to say. That's all I'm going to say. Raiders since 74, we should really consider Kyle McCord. If the Raiders really consider Kyle McCord, I'm going to cut the cord on 2025. Sir Chime, can't wait to beat Pizza Face Herbert this Sunday. I'll tell you this right now. I would have Pizza Face in a second if I was making the amount of money that Justin Herbert was freaking making, man. You know what? To avoid you not getting Pizza Face, when I eat healthier, I notice that my acne does really clear up. And Panda Supps is going to help you guys be healthier, happier in 2025. Whether you want to get your hands on one of these awesome protein supplements, and if you do, use code Raiders for 20% off at pandasupps.com. I will say, if you're somebody that has a major sweet tooth, fruity cereal, mint chocolate chip, cinnamon toast cereal are very sweet. If you're somebody that doesn't have as a sweet tooth, I would say strawberries and cream, pineapple whip. If you're somebody that likes to mix with fruit, vanilla ice cream is great. Also, I'm not going to lie to you, another great one to mix with some fruit is cinnamon toast cereal, but that's because I like cinnamon mixed in with some blueberries, mixed in with some strawberries, mixed in with some raspberries. If you're trying to be happy or trying to be healthier, Panda Supps has got you covered. Code Raiders, 20% off at pandasupps.com. Let's go to all aboard the Raiders. Happy New Year, brother. Happy New Year to you as well, and I think we are going to go get Vrabel. Thoughts on Jackson Dart? Tyson Bagent is him. I'll say this. Coming from somebody that thinks Tyson Bagent is him, you might also think Jackson Dart is him. How would you feel if Tyson Bagent was the Raiders starting quarterback in 2025? the exact same way how I'd feel if Jackson Dart was the Raiders starting quarterback in 2025. What's up, Ken? At this point, I would trade Max for a franchise QB. Hell, I would trade our whole team for one. I need some hope again to do something in the playoffs. Ken, I'll say that you definitely got to check out a video that I'm going to put out this week. Now, again, for those of you watching live, it's not out yet. For those of you that aren't watching live, the video is already out, and it's a video around Max Crosby trade possibility is more realistic than it has ever been before, and it's because Max wants certain things that, not that he hasn't asked for before, but there is more of a, hey, I want this. If I don't get this, then a trade could potentially end up happening. But, like, think about how great of a player Max Crosby is, right? The Raiders are 40-55 with Max Crosby on their team. The Raiders are 4-12 with Brock Bowers on their team. We know that Brock Bowers is one of the greatest to ever do it. We know Max Crosby is one of the greatest to ever do it. But if you don't have a franchise quarterback, that stuff kind of gets lost. And as great as what Max is, if you told me right now, I'm not kidding you, if you told me we could get our quarterback for the next 10 years, franchise quarterback for the next 10 years, and all we had to do was trade Max Crosby, I would do it. It's not because I don't love Max. Max is my favorite Raider. He is the definition of a Raider. It just simply comes down to certain positions obviously make bigger impact on a football field. And a quarterback's going to make bigger an impact than tight end. It's going to make bigger of an impact than defensive end. I don't blame anybody for having this mindset, though I want a franchise quarterback and Max Crosby. Let's go to Nick. What's up, man? Vrabel would be our Dan Campbell. I think Vrabel could be our Dan Campbell. He could also be our Mike Tomlin, which I think is another great comp because Tomlin's never had a losing record. What's up, Mazzillo? Hopefully I got that one right. When are you going to call 89 Brock Bowers? I'll be real with you. I don't really like it. Like, I get it. It's Bowser. Totally get it. But I'll say this. When you're as good as what Brock Bowers is, you don't need to say Brock Bowers. You can just say Bowers, right? Like, when you think of the great, great players at any position, you could just say one name and everybody knows what you're saying. LeBron. Everybody knows what you're saying, right? Think of, I always go back to Julio Jones. Everyone just called him Julio. And it's like, all right, people knew who it was. Right? Like Megatron. People just called him Megatron. There's going to be a name, and maybe it's just Bowser. Like, if people just want to call him Bowser, cool. Brock Bowers is good enough, though, to not. He's good enough for one name, is my point. I don't need three names. Let's go to Enrique. Should the Raiders hire Ben Johnson if Mike Vrabel doesn't get hired by the Raiders? I'll tell you this. I think it's cute for anybody out there that thinks that Ben Johnson is going to be interested in this Raiders job. If the Raiders had the number 1 overall pick with all their salary cap space, Ben Johnson might be interested. Raiders at number 8 in the NFL draft, Ben Johnson, 0% chance of getting this job. I actually think now that the Raiders have the number 8 overall pick, and when you look at their current roster construction, I think it's actually one of the worst jobs that you could possibly fall into, which is why it's going to end up being Mike Vrabel, right? Like, Vrabel doesn't have a job right now. Vrabel wants a job. And, I mean, New York Jets or the Raiders, that might be the only job where I'd say the Raiders is the better job over the Jets just because of how that team is also built and because of all the money. But you're not going to get top candidates that want to come for the Raiders based on them winning those last 2 games. So, again, if you're somebody that's happy that the Raiders won those last 2 games, hopefully you're also happy with them not getting a guy like Ben Johnson. Patriot Raider, hate that name. Hire McDaniels. He was a head coach and would be great of an OC. Dawson, if we can't trade up in round 1 for a quarterback, would you rather Will Johnson, Will Campbell, or Abdul Carter at number 8? So I kind of get into a situation like this in my mock draft, which, again, please go check it out. It's going to be out on Friday. Let's just say this. I am best player available. And I want best player available if you can't get a quarterback. And because of that, I'll go Abdul. What up, Rem? Mitch, I won my fantasy championship by 1.5 points. That's close. That's you sweating it out. Who was your MVP? Mitch, what if we drafted Milroe in the 2nd and Beck with one of our 3rds? I hate it. Like, I don't think Carson Beck's going to be a good NFL quarterback. He needs a lot of work. And to me, he was one of those dudes that showed me when everything's perfect, he can be good. When everything's not perfect, he is very, very average. And there's far too often in the NFL not everything's going to go your way. And I could see Carson Beck having a very similar career of a guy like Stetson Bennett, where you're like, this guy had a lot of success in college, though Bennett had way more success, but just can't get it done in the NFL just because they just don't have the talent to get it done at the NFL level. Miguel, Mitch, do you think if we get Dillon Gabriel and he sits a year, he can be good? I think the one thing that a lot of people got to just start realizing is there's a chance that even if the Raiders would have taken Shedeur, even if the Raiders, take Cam Ward, I mean, there's a chance that those guys sit for a year. And this was the whole show that I did, and this is why I'm always like, you got to watch everything that happens, even when the Raiders are bad, because one of the shows that I did was around the idea of, Tom Brady saying that he's open to the idea of having a quarterback sit for an entire year, even if they go high, which is why I think Aiden could be the starter next season, and then you hand the keys to the car to that quarterback in 2026. I would say with a guy like Dillon Gabriel, though, he's somebody that you need to put him in the right situation, and I'll use Brock Purdy for example. When Brock Purdy was put with the 49ers on a great football team, Brock Purdy looked like a really good quarterback. Purdy's looked a lot more human since this season because the 49ers don't have nearly as much talent around him. If you want Dillon Gabriel to be like, holy shit, this guy could actually be a really good quarterback, you got to surround him with a lot of talent. Raiders don't have a lot of talent right now. If you're going to just throw him out there to the fire, he's not going to get the job done. If you let him sit for a year or two and then you put him into a system where you got all these other pieces and you just need him to go out there and execute that system, he's going to be able to get it done. Like, to me, Dillon Gabriel and Bo Nix are very, very similar. I do think Bo Nix is a better NFL prospect than what Dillon Gabriel is, but at the same time, those guys have been able to show coming out of college that they can execute systems. Let's go to Brian. What up, Brian? Do you think it's possible that Sanders slides a little, moving from 8 to 3 to 5 isn't as expensive for us to trade up? I do think that there's a chance. I will say this. Dion had some interesting comments that he made on Monday about, like, don't listen to a lot of these people just blowing smoke. I know that Dion watches this show. I know Dion likes some of the videos that I've made about Shedeur going to the Raiders. I mean, he's literally liked these videos on my social media, and I've talked about it before. But to me, I do think Cam could slide. I do think Shedeur could slide. But I think the only way that they do slide is if it's like Dion and Shedeur go, he's not going to Cleveland. He's not going to Jacksonville. He's not going to fill in the blank. And some of those teams are going to let that kid slide and slide and slide. I mean, we'll see. I mean, we could even have a draft like a first quarterback's pick like Kenny Pickett, not until, I don't know what, pick 19, pick 20. I think that would be crazy. I do think that both Shedeur and Cam go in the top 10. I think they both go in the top 5 just because teams get desperate at the quarterback position. But I think another team that you got to think about is the New York Jets. New York Jets, they're going to be looking for a QB. They're right in front of the Raiders. Let's go to JC the Raider. Will the Raiders bring back Amir? So Amir Abdullah is going to be a free agent this offseason. If Antonio Pierce figures out a way to save his job and figures out a way to return next season, I'll say Amir Abdullah is a Raider. If Antonio Pierce isn't back, I don't think that they're going to bring him back. Now, has he been great over the back half of the season? Yes, he has. He's been amazing. He just had 115 rushing yards, his first ever 100-yard rushing performance in his 10-year career. I mean, Amir's out there doing a lot of the things that you would want from somebody as a veteran to be a team leader and a team that's 2-12. Don't get me wrong, I'm Team Tank, but like from the player, locker room, coaching side, you want a guy like Amir Abdullah to hype everybody up. I would say if it was up to me, I wouldn't bring him back. Now, if you can bring him back on a minimum like $1.2 million deal, move on from Zamir White. Sincere McCormick's obviously a little bit banged up here. You need to add some running backs in the draft as well. But if you want to add a cheap veteran at the vet min, sure, I'm open to the idea of Amir Abdullah. Now, reminder one more time before I get out of here, I want you guys to pull up with me on Sunday, Raiders, Chargers. It's kind of hard to believe. It's the final watch party of the entire season. But I'll also say this, I've never been more excited for a Raiders season to end than this season. But we're going to have a lot of fun. Make sure you pull up. Make sure you're ready to party because as far as I'm concerned, it's going to be a Raiders rooting against the Chargers party. Patrick B. Bang! If AP is no longer the head coach and PG leaves, could AP be a DC instead? I know I answered this one.
We did.
During the mailbag.
We just need to spin the dreidel for
We
it.
just got to spin the dreidel. And I'm telling you this right now. If this lands on Gimmel for Patrick,
Oh.
Man.
Hey, that's 3 more for Patrick B.
He did get 3, so that means the December bang race is Navman 25, Patrick B 22. This is going to get really,
Mitch,
interesting.
What do you win?
If you win, let's see, where'd it go? If you win our December bang competition, not only do you get a December bang Raiders jersey, you get a limited edition bottle of 1800 tequila. So they only put out a certain amount of these, and I actually don't know the exact number of how many of these that they put out. Yeah, watch out for that light. But you guys can see it's got the new Raiders logo on it, which I absolutely love. And this is a limited edition 1800 bottle of tequila, unopened. I didn't want to open it just because I felt like it kind of ruined the value, and whoever was the MVP, you decide when you're going to drink that. Though, if it's freaking Navman, I could see Navman taking a road trip down here and us just chugging this bottle together. It could get kind of wild. But whoever the MVP is, that's what you win. And good luck to Navman. Good luck to Patrick B. Good luck to the entire nation. TJ, then let's just win then. FLAC. Mark, let's draft Jackson Dart. Looks a true Raider. Happy New Year, Mitch and Chuggs from Chester, UK.
Good day, mate.
I mean, am I the only one that just doesn't think Jackson Dart looks very good? Like, I think he's a really good college quarterback. But I just don't think he's going to get it done in the NFL. Like, I would rather have Aidan O'Connell be the Raiders starter than Jackson Dart.
You, sir, owe my husband's wife a new table.
You, sir, also, we are 3 likes away from a little bit of shot of tequila.
Dylan, heard Mike V wants Josh McDaniels at OC. Hope not.
The person that said this is just going based off of it's like a national media guy that doesn't know the Raiders. So I could understand somebody going, well, Mike Vrabel could want Josh McDaniels because Josh McDaniels and Vrabel do have a good connection. McDaniels was the OC in New England for a very, very long time. Like, if you're somebody that doesn't know the Raiders, I could make an argument of, yeah, Mike Vrabel could hire Josh McDaniels. On the Raiders side of it, though, you're like, that's never going to happen because they're not going to bring back Josh McDaniels. It's the same way when somebody brings up any player that's got a domestic violence background. You could say, oh, Tyreek Hill kind of makes sense for the Raiders, blah, 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 from an NFL standpoint. And then you stand on the Raiders standpoint and you go, well, they have the Fred Bilenikoff rule, which indicates that they're not going to bring in anybody that's got a domestic violence pass, especially at the wide receiver position, right? Like, 2 of those things can be said. The person that said this doesn't know the Raiders. They just know the NFL. Because I know who it is. What up, Miggy? Cheers, Mitch and B-Day boy Chuck.
It's Chuck.
Chuck's birthday. So I wore the Chuck shirt today.
I see the confusion, though.
I can. I've seen you lick in some certain spots that Chuck's also lick, and it sounds very similar.
Hope everyone have a safe and great New Year's Eve night. Hope 2025 is great for everyone. Raider Nation for life. Bring back the Graham and Patrick Graham. I will also say cheers to everybody. Have a safe New Year's. Uber tonight.
Be responsible.
Uber tonight.
Seriously.
New Year's Eve. Actually, I learned this the other day. New Year's Eve and actually the weekend before Christmas, the 2 weekends before Christmas and New Year's Eve, some of the most, dangerous nights to be out because of Christmas parties and then obviously New Year's Eve.
It is. I mean, when Alex and we drove home on Christmas Eve from Alex's sister's house, and I felt like I was back in central Pennsylvania, just the amount of cop cars that I would pass. We don't really pass that many here in Dallas. Dude, I'm not kidding you. On a 25-minute drive, we passed no less than 10 cop cars.
Yeah, be safe tonight.
Just get an Uber.
Uber. It's a dangerous night to be out, so make sure that you're being safe.
Would you rather get an Uber for, let's say, $25? Oh, my God, an expensive Uber. $25. Or risk getting a $10,000 fine and potentially throwing away
your life.
Lost
in Your Mom says, Mitch, it's my birthday today. I remember growing up and watching Gannon, and I hope to see the Raiders come back to their greatness. Hashtag Raider Nation.
See, I feel like you can't say come back and also your name be Lost in Your Mom. But happy birthday to you. And this is one of those names where how many other names do you have to type in and go, nope, that's not it. That's not it either.
Lost in your mom.
Actually, you know what? That's not it either. And then
Patrick!
bang! Come on, Ventrac, which means he is our Week 17 MVP, Mr. Ventrac. So what is he going to get? Been studying up on Vrabel, and I have concerns. I have concerns about Vrabel. He seems pretty average without a top-tier OC. AP was a rookie this year, and like any rookie, he might improve. Maybe if we beat the Bolts, we should consider giving him a second year. And I talked about this yesterday on my Overreaction Monday show. My only thing is this. I don't want to fall into a trap, and this is the example I gave. Maybe it was a good example. Maybe it was a bad example. But I think Antonio Pierce, in terms of a head coach, is, let's just say it was somebody that hasn't been in your life all year. And then they buy you a nice Christmas gift and a nice, let's say, Hanukkah gift. And you're just willing to forgive everything that happened before then. Like, I'm not willing to do that, right? I'm not willing to forgive a really bad 2024 because we had a okay 3 weeks. You beat a bad Jacksonville team. You beat a really bad Saints team. And then you might beat a Chargers team that rests all their starters. Like to me, that's like you saying we should bring back Antonio Pierce because we had a really good preseason.
And I will say, the one thing where it's like it's hard for me to say I want AP back is because it would be one thing if we were like, you know what? Our guys are just getting outplayed. But in half of the losses, I think the Raiders actually outplayed the opposing team.
I think I kind of agree with Chuggs where it's like the Raiders are playing hard. Like the Raiders are playing hard football.
How many close losses have we seen where down the stretch we're like, why did Antonio make that call? Why did he call that timeout? Why did he challenge that call?
And that's my point. Where you want to see a coach get better, right? And even though the Raiders won these last 2 games, I still think that you can go back and you can look at some of those important moments and you're like, why is he doing that, right? Like, let's look at just a small sample size. He threw a challenge flag last week on a challenge that he lost. And I still think it was a challenge where I'm like, I don't know if I would end up throwing that. And it's the only example that just popped in my head right now. But, like, if there was an NFL player that had stats that prove, like, this guy's not getting any better, you wouldn't want to go back to him. And coming from a dude that was like, hey, we got to give AP a chance. We got to do this and that. Like, AP has been that bad of a game manager where I just don't know why anybody would want him back. Like, I get it. He screams Raiders. I get it that Dan Campbell was bad in his first year. And, I mean, you look at Dan Campbell with and without Ben Johnson. I was looking at those numbers today. Dan Campbell with and without Ben Johnson. I mean, it's going to be very intriguing to see what a guy like Dan Campbell looks like without Ben Johnson. I'm not going to lie to y'all. But AP was a rookie this year. And I get it. And sometimes it's a short sample size. And sometimes you only get 1 year to be able to prove your thing. And yes, the Raiders quarterback play was really bad. But, like, Antonio Pierce also made a lot of decisions that hurt the Raiders.
I'm looking for it right now. You had a list of all the bad moves that he had made up until that point of the season.
Yeah, it was like it was like halfway through. I mean, look at week 1 when the Raiders played the Chargers, right? You punt on your own 43-yard line. Like that's a position where you don't do that play. And I know we literally did an entire show on it, but statistically speaking, and again, I got to be able to find these numbers because I always see people tweet about it. But people that I follow, people that I respect, are like, Antonio Pierce statistically is one of the worst head coaches at game managing, like, in NFL history. I'll try to find some of those numbers. I don't have them on top right now. You know what, though? Speaking of a top, let's spin. Is a dreidel a top? Could you call it that?
Spinning top, yeah.
A spinning top, a little sloppy toppy.
Oh, shin.
Shin.
You only get one.
Ventrac, that means you get only one bang. Though that does put Ventrac at 9 for December, which puts him tied with Common Raider for 4th. But you know who's in first place? Bang! Chuggs, can you read that one off? I gotta take down a beer bong.
Spin that mofo. Happy
Spin
birthday
that mofo.
Happy birthday to Chuck. Happy New Year's to all. My Raiders resolution is the complete opposite of 2024.
Uh-oh.
BB, JPJ, CW additions only exception. Same research on Ben Johnson. His staff is elite as well. Not sure he succeeds as head coach. I'm just saying.
I mean, I will admit, the Lions, like, for Ben Johnson, they are stacked. You know what I mean? Like, that is a very, very complete football team.
Oh, here it is.
What?
I found the bad things that AP had done this year. Not trying to score before the half of that Chiefs game. This was for the Chiefs game.
Oh, okay.
The one that the Raiders almost won.
Yes, I know which one you mean.
Not trying to score before
Week
the half. The play calls at the 2-yard line after the Merrick interception. No targets to Brock Bowers in the second or third quarter of that game.
Like, how's that happen?
And after the game, AP blamed the player's execution.
Yeah, I can remember that one. Again, one of the things that we're going to talk about here on today's live show is some of AP's comments around Aidan O'Connell being like, I think he's a starting NFL quarterback. I thought it was kind of lame that he said that. And I'll kind of explain why I thought it was a little bit lame, but I did.
Just scattered throughout a ton of different graphics you made, it's just vanilla. I just see a lot of play call vanilla.
I mean, he is a vanilla play caller. I mean that's what this season has been. Not AP's been a vanilla play caller, but like he's a vanilla manager. Is that way to put it? Like to me, if you're you got to play to win the game. You got to play to win the game. And AP is one of those guys where I feel like when he manages a football game, he's so afraid to lose.
Well, and it's like for somebody who always speaks about having so much faith in this team, having so much faith in his players, every time it's like, all right, put up or shut up. AP makes the most conservative play call.
He's like, he just runs the prevent.
Like
prevent coaching for 4 quarters.
It's like somebody who's like, bro, we're going to go balls to the wall. We're going to go crazy. And then it's 4th and 1 on the opposing 40-yard line. And he's like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and punt it.
And that's where I'm also like, I think actions speak louder than words. And AP's one of those guys where, like, he can really, really fire you up when he speaks.
Nav, man, that's 2.
But then you're also like, you don't really follow it up with any action. I need some action once in a while.
That's 2 for Nav, man. 2 bangs for Nav, man.
All right, let me add it to the list here.
Nate, if we do trade Max, as long as we have Rob Leonard as the D-line coach, we should be fine. Re-sign Chasen and Kuntz and maybe sign Chase Young. Do you think that's good enough, Mitch? I mean, you're not going to replace Max with that.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to replace Max, right? If you try to replace Max, you're not going to be able to do it. In terms of K'Lavon Chasen, yeah, I mean, this is the guy that I would absolutely try to bring back if you have Rob Leonard. If you don't have Rob Leonard, I actually don't know if I would try to bring him back. For a guy like Malcolm, it's somebody that I would consider signing on the cheap, but I also can't blame Malcolm if he wants to test the open market and go out there and look at some other spots. Chase Young, I like. However, though, to me, you have Tyree Wilson, who's getting better and better. Hopefully Christian Wilkins comes back. I would rather you re-sign Adam Butler, put him at defensive tackle, let Tyree develop a little bit more, find another edge rusher in the draft instead of going out and signing Chase Young. Shane Gamble, hypothetically, if Genty was to fall to us, also, this is a jelly bean, which I got one.
Are you on spicy or nasty?
All right, how about this? 1 or 2?
This is for you?
Yep, this one's going to be for me. You get the next one.
2.
All right, that's nasty. Shit.
Let's go.
All right, how about this? Pick 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Or 5.
4.
Multiple teams are interested in John Gruden. The Raiders aren't one. Positive. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, unless they wanted to bring in John Gruden as an OC, I mean, they wouldn't bring him in as a head coach. I mean, they are paying him. Like, technically Mark's still paying Gruden. I think he owes him still like 50, 40 million. Maybe 30 million. Well, they gave him 10 years, 100 million fully guaranteed. So the one that I got that I just threw, pretty sure is rotten egg. Boy, this is going to be bad, dude. Oh. Oh, dude. The rotten egg. Oh, my God. I almost threw that up.
T.
Oh, is this a new one?
J.
Parkinson! Bang! Wow. Oh, wow. Dude, I'm not kidding you. Look at the chills I have on.
You just spit.
That's how much spit I have in my mouth. The amount, dude, there is 2 huge globs of spit on my keyboard. Dude, I'm not kidding you. I just ate a jelly bean, rotten egg, rotten egg.
Oh, I had that on Sunday.
Sometimes the spit be spit.
I'm not even. I don't even know how they get these jelly beans
You know what I mean?
to taste so bad. If you've never had the Bean Boozled, you gotta look them up. They're
Wait,
like
Joey,
they're great for the holidays.
if somebody sends in a 10 right now, would you do a Bean Boozled? All right, if somebody sends in a 10 right now, Joey's going to do a Bean Boozled.
If somebody sends in a 100, Joey's gonna do 5 Bean Boozled.
Oh.
All at once. All at once.
I've done 10 before.
He said he's done 10
I'm not doing
before.
that.
10 before is crazy.
David said, sorry, Ira just got out of the shot. I don't know what's going on between Ira Jackson and David's on right now, but I don't know if I want to know what's going on. Did you read TJ's?
I did not. I'm looking for something.
Regardless of what happens, real ones will always be back next year. Let's hope for the best and play the cards we are dealt. More important, let's toast to the next year.
Blaine!
Craig! And he just says, eat the bean.
He says, eat the bean. All right, so this is my gross selection. Also, everyone say hi to Joey. He's one of our newish guys. You're not even a new guy anymore. Now you're kind of he's been here 7 months. He's like an old guy here. These are my nasty ones.
Okay.
I'll let you pick what you want from that bunch.
So they're all nasty.
Well, technically, no. Based on the research that I've done with the Bean Boozled,
Joey,
you got
just-
about a 80% chance of getting a bad one.
Okay.
Like that, based on what I think that
It's
is,
like- it's
I
like-
think that's puke.
It's like going out to the college bars on a Wednesday.
Yeah, these are bar for peach.
Ooh, it could be a stink bug.
Yeah.
No, I think it's bar for peach.
This
Good
one's
luck
for,
to you.
This one's for Blaine.
Cheers.
If you need a sip.
There we go. It's good.
Get out of here.
No.
So I get the shit. I get rotten egg, and I think Joey apparently
Was that
got
peach?
Yeah, peach, delicious.
but delicious. Are you effing me right now? Who does this show? The odds makers back there, Chuggs. That's who is the blame.
All right, this one's for TJ. I forgot to spin the dreidel for him. Mr. TJ. Gimmel!
Gimmel!
Let's go!
You know what? Whoever spams Gimmel the most, I'm going to give you a chance to get a bang. I don't know. It's an idea. Let's just go with it. It's 2024. The year's almost over. Let's try it. Whoever spams Gimmel the most, I'm going to give you a chance to get your very own bang. Somebody's got to spam Gimmel, though.
Sergeant Fighter, Nation, Chuggs, Mitch, and all my service members and first responders, Godspeed, Semper Fi, and Happy New Year's.
Sergeant Fighter.
I'm going to go with Ron Raspberry.
What you didn't know is Ron was actually just deleting all the other Gimmel comments and only putting his own in there. He's just the mod. He's like, that one's got to go. That one's got to go. That guy's been spamming it way too much. Gimmel, 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 Gimmel.
Triple Nickel Sergeant Fighter. Salute to you. Thanks for being a real one. Rock and Jock. AP is a Karen. All yelling at and nothing to back it up. Brutal. Azul! Azul says, Gimmel! Bang!
The Gimmel Bong! Bang! All right, Ron Raspberry. That was supposed to say what?
What?
Well, that burp was supposed to be a what?
What?
Well, you act like you were going to say something.
Oh, no, I was going to say, Azul, that's a bean.
Azul said, hey, man, if you want a bean around a little bit. All right, so that means, I think since I got a nasty one,
I get a spicy.
I think you also get a nasty one.
No, it was 1 and 2. It's,
So you only get spicy and I only get shit?
that's how we picked it.
That's just not how it's going to go.
I got the spicy.
Unfortunately, if that's what you guys wanted on today's episode, you're not going to get that. It's just not going to happen. So, we'll go spicy next time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
2.
All right, left or right?
I know I picked the good one, and you're like,
You didn't, though, because here's, honestly, I'm not kidding you. If this is flipping peach again, I'm going to murder somebody. If you get a peach, I'm not going to be happy. Because I think that...
it's not peach.
It's not peach, he said. Did you eat it?
I broke it a little to smell it.
And it's not peaches. Peaches, 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 peaches. I feel like Chuggs when he eats the bean. It reminds me of who's the really, not calling you fat, but who's the fat guy on Jackass?
Oh, I don't know.
What's his name? He just always gets sick and he always throws up. Dude, what's his name? Preston. I think it's Preston. Is it Preston? I
Fuck
think it's
Joey.
Preston.
Screw Joey so hard.
What do you think? I mean, that's a barf. That's a barf flavor. So Joey walks in here and goes, sure, I'll eat a peach jelly bean. I get rotten egg. You get barf. Like, has anybody, Y for yes, N for no, has anybody ever had these bean boozled
That
before?
was so bad.
Has anybody had these bean boozled before?
Also, we've barely done it today. I kind of want to test it out a little bit more. $50 bang roulette.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Every $50 is a bang, and we're going to spin the boot roulette wheel, which right now has 9 nothings, a Jeremy boot, and a Mitch boot.
Yeah, this could get awfully, awfully interesting. Let's just put it like that.
So if you're maybe like, oh, I've never been able to afford a boot before, $50 boot roulette.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit banged up right now. I'm a little bit banged up right now. So you know what I think we should do?
Blaine.
I say we should do Blaine. Absolutely. I mean, Blaine Craig's a guy that I'm not gonna lie. Yelling out Blaine Craig when you finish, that's got to feel great. I'll say this. I want to get through some of these questions, and then I want to get into the final segment, and then let's put our hair down, and let's just get weird.
Oh, yeah.
Let's just get weird here on the Raiders Report. I don't know if you guys are down. I'm down to get down. So Blaine says the only thing better than a great value bang is a free bang. So to Ron Raspberry, okay? We voted and Ron Raspberry got the gimbal. So here's what I'm going to do to Mr. Ron Raspberry.
Oh,
What?
that burp tasted bad.
Oh, I bet it did. Again, until you actually eat these jelly beans, I don't think people understand how bad they truly
Which,
truly are.
speaking of that, Josh. I
All right,
love
so
to
this
eat the
one's a
bean.
spicy one. So this is a spicy bean. Pick a number.
3.
Hang on, I didn't put them in my hand yet. Well, I mean, you're jumping the gun.
You said pick a number.
I know, but I didn't think you'd pick it that quick. All right, are we sticking with 3?
Yes. No, go 5.
Should have stuck with
All right, I'll stick with 3.
3. F it, mango habanero. Ah! Dude, when I eat these spicy jelly beans, they make me feel like that crack kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah!
You know how old that kid is? Dude.
Where is the crack kid now?
All right, how old do you think crack kid is?
23.
Good guess. 21 years old.
He just got his first drink.
Probably not. Dude, I'm on fire right now.
Yeah, you are.
Mango habanero.
Iris says motorboat the hell out of that bean. Where are we at on the duck
Would you
race?
rather motorboat a rotten egg bean or a barf bean?
I'd rather run a 5K shoeless.
That's why we him shoeless Jeremy Chuggs.
Where are we at on the duck race, by the way?
The duck race, which, because it's Chuck's birthday, we got to do a dog. I think actually we should just call it a Chuck race today.
Chuck race.
We're calling it a Chuck race from here on out. If you want to get in the Chuck race, $20 Venmo at Mitchell Renz 365. Didn't you say you made a deal? The next 5 people that got in, they get a free duck, right?
Yep.
They get a free Chuck, which means, you know what? Since Jamari Murray was the first one in, Jamari, I'm giving you another one. That's on me. 93 Navman. 93 Navman. Philip Bogert, you're getting in, which, Philip, I'm just going to tell you this right now. I don't know if I could have spelled your name any more wrong. But you're in.
Twice.
Anthony Terry is in.
Twice.
And then also Brian Folsom is going to be in. Though Anthony Terry, I see that you sent in an extra, so you're in. So that means as it stands right now, $20 Venmo, Tyler Dooling. You in. You know what, Tyler? F it. I'm putting you in twice. Tyler Dooling is in. $20 Venmo to win $130 here on the Raiders Report. We're going to do this duck race at the very, very end of today's show.
Mitch, I totally forgot to show this at the beginning.
What?
We've just got a lot going on.
Oh, we'll wait on it. Let's do it after the segment. We're going to do it after the segment. Is anybody down for a deal? I'm worried the more and more lit I get, the more random deals that are going to come
Let's
out.
do the last.
Let's do the last seg
right now, and then we'll end the live show at 3. So an hour and a half. That means the last hour will just be a happy hour.
All right, last hour's a happy hour. This is also hitting 300 likes.
All night long, all night,
All night,
all night long.
all night, all night long. BT, Mario can't get right, Tyler D. I mean this, man.
Hey, can we get a just win baby for Emma, my bro's girlfriend? Man, she just got diagnosed with cancer 2 days before Xmas. She's 30, 4 kids. Cancer sucks. Hey, everybody, let's get some hearts down in the comments section. Let's get some LVs down below for Emma. Let Emma know that you're with her, because I agree. Cancer sucks. I lost my grandmother to cancer 2 years ago. It absolutely blows. So I'm really sorry, VT. Sorry to hear about that for Emma. Just know, Emma, you got a lot of people behind you.
Yeah, Emma, I'll say this to anybody that's in Emma's corner. Like, you know, I talk to a lot of people. I've had a lot of people in my life that have had cancer. My mom, she's the youngest of 9, and all 6 of my aunts and uncles, I still have a few that are living, have all passed away from cancer. I just lost my grandfather to cancer. It's why I have actually, I don't know how many people ever notice it, but I have a cancer ribbon tattooed on my forearm. Anytime I ever hear anybody that like beats cancer, you got to give them a reason to beat it, right? Like you got to give them a reason to hope. You got to give them a reason to believe, and that's the biggest thing. And we have a very loyal Raiders Report watcher that has dealt with a very similar situation that I know very near and dear to my heart. Who's always showing love on this show, and they kind of told me the same thing. Where a lot of times you got to be able to take your mind off of what's actually happening. And I think a lot of times people, when they tune into the Raiders Report, don't get me wrong, do we cover the Raiders? Do we cover breaking news? Do we go live for watch parties? Yes, we do. We do a lot of stuff that's got a lot of shenanigans involved in it too, because I do think at the end of the day, I want people to know that this is going to be a channel where you can get breaking news, where you can get real Raiders analysis. But then, you know what? If you need to be able to step away and get away from life for a day, an hour, 3 hours, 10 minutes, we're going to find a way in order to be able to do that. So, VT, from the bottom of my heart, man, I'm on your side. I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for everybody, in your corner. If there's any way that we can help, please let me know if we can. One of the things that Chuggs and I talked about doing before is, kind of figuring out a show. We did it for a few years ago. We did one for Tri-Van where we literally just did a live show, and every super chat that we made was donated to some charity, which we might be able to do in 2025. I never realized how much other logistics go in with it.
I might be down to do a special show for St. Baldrick's.
I'd be down to do a show for St. Baldrick's as well. I don't know if I could shave my head, but
you wouldn't be able to.
Yeah.
It's in March.
Huh?
Because it's in March.
Oh yeah, it's true. I'm getting married. Yeah. Alex would not be happy.
Yeah, she would not be a happy camper. But I'd be willing.
Why'd you guys get divorced? Mitch shaved his head in March.
Would we be down to maybe do a show, which we'd have to talk to our bosses, but I don't see how they would have a problem with this. Maybe do a show where, half of the proceeds on Venmo go to cancer research or, St. Baldrick's or something like that.
I'd be down to do that. I would also just rather, LA Crash Dog, he does a lot for Save a Warrior, right? So, we donated money directly to LA Crash Dog for Save a Warrior because it was close to him. I'd be more down to do, a fundraiser for something that's,
I was thinking.
It's 100% of the proceeds got to go. Because I know, my family, we were called the Jaywalkers. We used to do this thing called Relay for Life.
Or actually, you know what we can do?
And it was only 20% of the proceeds would go to actual American.
You know what we can actually do?
Research.
I think we can find in YouTube when we set up the live. I think there's a way that we could do the super chats to go to that instead.
Yeah.
And if we hit a certain goal, then I'll do it.
Okay. You'll shave your head? All right, timeout. So you're telling me you're willing to do a show where you potentially shave your head?
Yes, but only if we get to a certain number for cancer research.
Okay. All right. Here's what's going to happen on today's show. We're going to try to figure out how to get Jeremy to fully commit to that. Or you're already in.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in. I couldn't do it last year because I was getting married.
Oh, that's true. You could have just shaved your head where your yarmulke was.
Yeah.
That would have been,
true.
honestly, that would have been pretty cool.
That is true.
A forever yarmulke. What more do you need? What more do you need? No, I'm not kidding you. I think it's a great idea. I think we should do something for St. Baldrick's. If you're down to shave your head, can I shave it? Or
I mean, I'd kind of like to maybe have
an actual barber. All right, how about this? I'll bring in my barber. He watches the show. Alex, you're watching right now. Maybe you are, maybe you aren't. We'll bring him in for the day, and he'll shave your head. In?
I'm in.
Dude, I'm freaking ready, dude. That's going to be sick.
For cancer research.
For cancer research, yes. It's going to be all the money that we generate is going to go to cancer research for St. Baldrick's. We used to do it in college a lot. One of my college roommates used to do it every single year. He used to shave his head for St. Baldrick's. I think it's a great thing to do. But, VT, Raider Nation's family. Always, always believe that. All right, y'all. Let's get into this quick show here on some Raiders news, some rumors that have just been circulating around. And then the last hour of this show is going to be nothing but a lot of shitting and a lot of showing. Sound good? You ready, my man? Chuggs says he's ready to go. Are y'all ready to go? Before we get this show started, I want 1,000 VT homes down below because 1,000 Emmas. I like that. 1,000 Emmas down below because I do mean this. You don't have to be blood to be family. Every day that I do this show, every day that I cover the Raiders Report, it proves to me this, that people are going to have your back when you have their back, but it's also like that's what family is all about. And I think that this is one of those YouTube shows that proves it every single day that we got each other's backs. And I think that that's a beautiful thing. So I mean it. I'm not starting this next show until we get 1,000 Emmas down below in the comment section. Emma, if you're watching this right now, if you watch this on a later date, I want you to know that it's not going to be something you're going to go through alone. The fact that VT was able to speak up, I think just shows that, you're always on his mind. And if there's any way that we can help here at the Raiders Report, I really do. I really hope that we can help. I got Ron Raspberry, TJ Parkinson, Artie, King Shav, Josh Melton, Zalesbo, Azul, Ira Jackson, showing love to Emma down below. We got to keep them going. Let's go. I see Gatling Gun, L.I., what up, Brian, Mr. David Zahn, Mike, TJ, keep them coming. Bottom line is this. If you need some place to vent, if you need a place to talk, if you need to have a good time, the Raiders Report is here. You ready to go? We just crossed 1,000 Emmas. Shout out to the nation for being the best fan base, being the best family I could have asked for. Let's talk a little bit about some Raiders rumors coming up right now. Raider Nation, what's going on? It's Mitchell Renz here, host of the Raiders Report. And a lot of y'all are probably clicking in this video because you're going, Mitch, are you telling me Mike Vrabel is going to be interviewing for the Raiders head coaching job? We're going to talk about that in just a moment. But we also got some juicy rumors around Aidan O'Connell. And I'm going to tell you at the end of today's show, am I going to root for the Raiders to beat the Chargers? All of that is going to be coming up. But you know what? I'm filming this show, and it's kind of crazy. I'm live right now, and it's the final live show of 2024. I can't wait for this season to be over. I can't wait for this year to be over. But if you're a Raiders fan and you're going to look for Raiders videos on YouTube every single day for free, click that subscribe button, turn on those notifications, and I'm going to ask a big favor here. If there's anybody that watches the show loyally, if you could go down in the comment section and give us a review, maybe give somebody that's new to this show why that they should subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it because I want more people here to join the Raiders Report family. So let's first talk about this rumor here. Raiders will interview Mike Vrabel. Guess what? This one's for Just Win, babies. Believe it, baby. The Raiders are 100% going to interview Mike Vrabel, but it just can't happen right now. And I was getting asked a lot over the past 24 hours, Mitch, hey, I see Mike Vrabel can be interviewed. Are the Raiders going to interview him? They can't interview him now because the Raiders are still in season and because Antonio Pierce is still the head coach. But as soon as this season ends and as soon as the Raiders decide to move on from AP, they are going to interview Mike Vrabel. So for those that do not know, he had a consulting agreement with the Cleveland Browns. That job ended for him on December 30th. So when he was fired from the Tennessee Titans head coaching job, took a job with the Cleveland Browns, worked with one of his buddies, and he worked there for this entire year. But his consulting contract, ended on December 30th. So he is technically free to interview with any NFL team that has an open head coaching position. Not every NFL team out there has an open head coaching position. So I saw that there was a lot of confusion out there on the internet. But I did want to sit up here and tell you, the Raiders are going to interview him. And when you think about how much has changed over the past month of me telling you that Antonio Pierce has a chance to come back, to Antonio Pierce has a 50% chance to coming back, to Antonio Pierce has a 10% chance to coming back, to telling you all now, if Mike Vrabel wants the job, it's 100% his. I would put it now that there's a 5% chance that Antonio Pierce is coming back next season. Now, I'll also say this. Vrabel can interview with these three teams. And if the New York Jets, the New Orleans Saints, or if the Chicago Bears wanted to get a head start on the interview process, which, not going to lie, if the Jets, Saints, or Bears were legitimately serious about going out and hiring Vrabel, they should try to actually get him in for an interview, because if you know the connections, the reports, where there's smoke, there's fire. I mean, there's so much smoke right now around Vrabel coming to the Las Vegas Raiders. I don't care who you look at. I don't care who you listen to. I don't care who you trust in terms of beat reporters. I don't care who you trust in terms of NFL insiders. Everybody is saying this. The front runner to be the next Raiders head coach is Mike Vrabel. So if you're a team like the Jets, like the Saints, like the Bears, you should try to get a head start on the Jags, on the Giants, and definitely you should try to get a head start on the Las Vegas Raiders if you are legitimately interested in hiring Vrabel to be your next head coach. But when you look at the latest reports, the teams that are apparently interested on the former 2021 Coach of the Year are the 6 teams that are pictured up here on screen. But this show's about the silver and black. And my question to the entire nation out there, and it's going to be the pinned comment on today's show, is give me a yes, give me a no. Do you want Mike Vrabel to be the Raiders head coach next season? My answer, after this YouTube ad break. I do want Mike Vrabel to be the Raiders' next head coach because he's the best head coach candidate that you can get for 2025. Because the Raiders won a few meaningless games, and I'm done kind of arguing about this. I know players want to win. I know coaches want to win. And I'm not going to blame for the players or coaches for going out there and winning games. However, though, you're not going to get a Ben Johnson to come in here anymore. The number one head coach candidate and the most realistic candidate for the silver and black in 2025 is Mike Vrabel. And if you're like, I don't want Mike Vrabel, then you're okay with Antonio Pierce. To me, because of the Raiders winning those final 2 games, it is either a Mike Vrabel or it is Antonio Pierce. If you don't like those 2 options, then you should go with Mike Vrabel. And when I saw an interesting quote from Jeremy Fowler, and I wanted to be able to present it to you all today because I do think that people need to realize, and I think people got to be excited about the potential of getting Mike Vrabel, because I think Vrabel is actually a really good pairing with this Raiders team, because this Raiders team needs a lot of help to be able to build in a lot of different ways. So according to Fowler, Browns were very impressed with Vrabel during his Cleveland tenure. He has helped a lot during a difficult season, and is one person that they're noted he can skillfully coach every position on the field. One of the things that Mike Vrabel has been noted at from his times back in New England, back at his time with Tennessee, and as you can see it here with Cleveland, he's one of those dudes that he can talk to corners, linebackers, defensive ends, offensive line, tight end, wide receiver. Because he's played and because he's had so much success, he's one of those coaches that he can. When he enters a room, every single player listens to him. And when you're a team that, is a lot further away than just finding the quarterback, like, we got to replace a lot of pieces on defense. We got to replace a lot of pieces on offense. We got to be able to build some continuity with this team, because when you change head coaches all the time, there's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of different things. So forgive me for wanting a head coach that has been able to show you in the NFL and has been spoke of very highly of being able to do all those things of, guess what? I want Mike Vrabel to be the Raiders' next head coach. He was Coach of the Year in 2021. Like, imagine if Mike Vrabel was a quarterback in the NFL. Like, that's what I'm going to say to a lot of Raider fans out there. Imagine if the MVP at the quarterback position was available to you for the Raiders this offseason. You would take it in a heartbeat. And I know that there's not a lot of stats there. And I know a 3-time Super Bowl champ. And I know his relationship with Tom Brady, the head coaching record. But I think that there's also a discussion that needs to be had of, if I sat up here right now and I looked at you in the eyes, and every single one of y'all in the eyes, and I said, would you add a quarterback that's better than Aidan O'Connell, your current starter, would you do it? You all would say yes. So why wouldn't you add a head coach in Mike Vrabel that's going to do a better job than what Antonio Pierce did at head coach? Was AP given a shorthand? Yeah. But I think a guy like Mike Vrabel would play the hand Antonio Pierce was dealt a lot better, because you go back and you look at some of those Titans teams, I think they had a lot less talent than what the Raiders had this freaking season. Coming up here, some interesting statements made about Aidan O'Connell that, quite frankly, I got to talk about here. Before I get into it, though, today's show is sponsored by Prize Picks. easy, exciting daily fantasy sports made easy. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action with over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings. Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. Make your holidays bigger and brighter with Prize Picks, the best place to get real money action while watching your favorite sports. You can now win up to 1,000 times your money on Prize Picks. Join now because this holiday season, Prize Picks is giving away 2 free picks in December, and they're giving away $30+ million in rewards during Picksmas. Download the app today. Use code CLNS. Get $50 instantly. When you play $5, you don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks. Run your game. If you're also like, you know what, Mitch? I want to kind of go more or less on some college football games. College football time is right now. And when I think about how excited I am to be able to talk about college football, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to watch every single one of these games. If you're sitting there going, Mitch, I am going to watch every single one of the games that are up on screen right now, put down $5. You got a chance to win some money at prizepicks.com/CLNS. Out of all the games up on screen, the game that I personally think is the most intriguing, the most exciting, is Oregon against Ohio State. To me, that's going to be the game that gets the most national coverage. But in terms of the game that I have money on, that I'm the most confident in, it's actually the Boise State-Penn State game. For more on Ashton Genty, I got more on Ashton Genty for 129 rushing yards. That, to me, is a really, really, really smart thing to do. So go to prizepicks.com/CLNS. Make sure that you use code CLNS. And a huge, huge shout out to them yet again for being the sponsor here on the Raiders Report. Let's go to the next rumor here on today's show. Aidan O'Connell is going to be a starting quarterback in the National Football League. Yeah, 4 just win, babies. Believe it, baby. But, he's already a starting quarterback in the National Football League. You can't say that he's going to be a starting caliber NFL QB. He is already starting in the NFL. And if you haven't seen the quote, Antonio Pierce on Monday said, I think Aidan O'Connell will be a starting quarterback in the NFL. He is already in a 2-year career, and it's been a short career, has started 16 games. We're about to get his 17th game started. And to me, that's a very good sample size to look at of what you could potentially be looking at from Aidan. Has he gotten better? Yeah, he absolutely has gotten better. But in terms of, is Aidan an actual starting quarterback in the NFL? That remains to be seen, because AP to me is obviously talking about the future when it comes to AOC, right? Antonio Pierce's comments were Aidan O'Connell is going to be a starting quarterback in the NFL. And to me, I would say a starting QB in my mind is the guy that starts week 1, right? The guy that starts week 1 for your NFL team, that's what I would say a starting caliber NFL quarterback is. But also at the same time, I've been somebody that's sat up here before and I've gone, I don't know if Aidan's the top 32 QB in the league. I think right now, based on some of the quarterback play that I've seen and based on Aidan getting better, I actually think that he's a top 32 quarterback in the NFL. But at AOC, he isn't the Raiders starter. I'm not sure where he is going to start. Tell me right now an NFL team. Everybody watching this live, everybody on a later date, what NFL team goes, I want to trade for Aidan O'Connell to be my starting quarterback? I don't think there's a single NFL team that does that. And if I'm looking at Aidan and if I'm looking at him being a starter, I'm going to say this. I think 2025 might be the only season for the rest of his career, unless a starter gets hurt, unless a rookie gets injured, unless an injury happens, nobody's going to walk into week 1 of the NFL year and go, Aidan O'Connell is our starter. So I think he might get his only chance in 2025 if the Raiders are unable to land a QB. But this show's about interaction, and I want to know what you guys have to say. So type S for starter, type B for backup. Is Aidan O'Connell a starting quarterback in the National Football League? My answer might surprise you after this YouTube ad break. I do think that Aidan O'Connell is a starting quarterback in the National Football League because I do think that he's a top 32 quarterback. However, though, if you're a head coach and you're Antonio Pierce and you go, I think that he's the starter in the NFL, and if you're a head coach and you're going to roll into your season with AOC your starter, I'm saying you're hoping for that year to be 7 to 8 wins. AOC can be a starter in a bridge year. Like, are you going to risk your entire job on Aidan? If you do, I just don't think that you're a very smart man in terms of what you're betting your livelihood, you're betting your job on. Can O'Connell get more starts? Yes. Is he going to get more starts in the NFL? Yes, he's going to start a lot more games. Like, I would say right now, he's going to have 17 starts by the end of the season. I would put the more or less number on Aidan's starts for his career at 30 starts. Like, he's going to run into starts. If a quarterback like Brian Hoyer can get starts late in his career, why can't a guy like Aidan O'Connell? And O'Connell's going to have a career like Brian Hoyer. He's going to make $50+ million in this league being a very good backup for 12 to 15 years because he's got it up here and he can execute a system. However, though, AP calling Aidan O'Connell a starter, I'm not going to lie, it kind of makes me laugh a little bit because when I hear Antonio Pierce stepped up to that podium and he goes, I think Aidan O'Connell is a starting quarterback in the NFL. I chuckle a little bit because I'm like, well, one, that just tells me that you're not ready to be a head coach in the NFL. But also on top of that, I'm like, Pierce didn't want Aidan at all. And he tried everything in his power to trade it for Jayden Daniels, which was the smart thing to do. Jayden Daniels on this Raiders team with Cliff Kingsbury, I think we're in the playoffs. Like, I'm not kidding you when I say that. I think the Raiders are in the playoffs. I think they're better than the Denver Broncos. I think they're better than the Los Angeles Chargers. If Jayden Daniels is the quarterback, which maybe half the reason is why I want the Raiders to go out and get a franchise quarterback. But Pierce didn't want AOC. He took Jayden. And then AP and Luke Getsy took Gardner Minshew over Aidan O'Connell to be the starter, which I thought was going to be a smart move. Ends up not a smart move. Aidan right now is better than Gardner Minshew. I'll also say, and I've been saying this, I would love to see what Gardner Minshew with Scott Turner would look like for the longevity, like Aidan O'Connell's kind of had Scott Turner. Like, we're comparing Aidan with Scott Turner and Gardner Minshew and Luke Getsy. I don't think that that's a fair comparison because I will say entering the year, Gardner Minshew has been better throughout his entire career than what Aidan O'Connell has been up to this point. That's a fair statement. But then the final reason here of why I'm sorry, the AP comments on Aidan O'Connell make me chuckle a little bit. It's because Pierce just a few weeks ago said, quarterback play, bottom line, quarterback play is the reason why the Raiders are ranked dead last in the AFC West. And when I hear Antonio Pierce call Aidan O'Connell a starting quarterback, it just makes me think that he's a bad head coach. And the reason why that I say that is because you as a head coach had the opportunity to make him the starter for the full year. But you and Tom Telesco decided, no, not good enough. I'm going to sign Gardner Minshew in March as insurance. And then during the quarterback battle in the offseason, you decided to go with Gardner Minshew over Aidan O'Connell. Okay, that's fine. It's your bed. You laid in it. But then now also, you make comments just 2 months later going, and it was more of a, I would be winning games right now if I had a good quarterback. But you're saying that you do have a good quarterback and you have a starting NFL quarterback. So either you don't think Aidan O'Connell is a good starting quarterback or you're not a good head coach. Because I don't think that you can say that Aidan is going to be a good starting quarterback in the NFL and have the season that you had with all the decisions that you've made with the opportunities that you could have put Aidan on the field. So I'm sorry, Antonio Pierce. You calling Aidan O'Connell a starting quarterback in the NFL just makes me think that you're a bad head coach. Let's go to the final story here on today's show. Am I going to be rooting for the Raiders to beat the Chargers this Sunday? I'm Team Tank, and I've been Team Tank. But I'm not Team Tank anymore. Does make no sense to be Team Tank. Give me 4 just win babies. Just win babies. Just win babies. Just win babies. Nothing but straight facts here on today's show. And I am going to root for the Raiders to beat the Chargers. But I'm going to root for the Raiders to beat the Chargers because if they win, picking at 8 compared to picking at 10 at this point, it doesn't freaking matter. I wanted the Raiders to have a top pick because I wanted the Raiders to have a top pick to either give them a chance to go get their quarterback in Shedeur or Cam Ward, or at least give them the opportunity to be able to trade back because I knew they had a lot of open spots. I knew they had a lot of open holes, and I wanted them to build that roster even if they wanted to be able to trade back. But the reason why I'm rooting for the Raiders, because it's FLAC, baby. If the Raiders beat the Chargers are the 6th seed. And that means that they are either going to play the Baltimore Ravens or the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I'm just going to tell you this right now. I don't want the Chargers to be the 5 seed because I don't want them to play the Houston Texans because that means I don't have that opportunity to go live with Jeremy Chuggs to root against the Chargers. I want every opportunity that I go live. I want to be able to root against the Chargers with Chuggs, to be able to root against the Chiefs with Chuggs. And I know that's not going to happen. But if the Chargers beat the Raiders, and if the Pittsburgh Steelers on Saturday night lose to the Bengals, the Chargers are the 5 seed. I don't want them to be the 5 seed. If the Pittsburgh Steelers beat the Bengals on Saturday and the Chargers lose, well, then it actually doesn't matter. If the Steelers beat the Bengals on Saturday, no matter what, the Chargers are the 6 seed. So it might not matter either way, but if I know that I can go into the offseason with at least a little bit of bragging rights that we beat the Chargers and we didn't get totally swept in the AFC West, guess what? I'm going to do it. And I know this playoff picture almost makes me want to throw up, but when I really think about it, and sorry, Chuggs, I want the Chargers to be that 6 seed because I think that there's a better chance that the Chargers lose to the Pittsburgh Steelers, to the Baltimore Ravens, because I'm worried right now with all the injuries that the Texans have. They're not that good of a football team, and they're not playing their best football right now. So call me crazy for wanting the Chargers to lose in the first round, and I think their best chance to lose in the first round is if the Raiders just take care of business and get a dub on Sunday. So make sure you guys are subscribed. Make sure you got those notifications turned on, and make sure you pull up Week 18, Raiders, Chargers. I'm going live at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, an hour 25 before this game gets kicked off, because I'm trying to get down for the final time in the 2024 regular season. Do you want the Raiders to beat the Chargers this Sunday? Give me a yes. Give me a no. What are y'all thinking, Chuggs? Would you get mad at me if I tried to take a little bit of a tinkle?
No.
Here's my deal. I want y'all to hang out with Chuggs, answer this question. When
wait.
I get back,
Wait,
I'm going to give y'all a deal.
Can you just do one more thing before you head out?
One more thing?
Yeah.
I got you. Whatever it is, you let me know.
Man!
Bang! Bro. Also, to VT Holmes, do you have Venmo? VT, if you do, Venmo me $1. I'll send you the dollar back. I just want your shipping address. I want your shipping info. I have a few extra Navman lanyards that I have saved, and if I could send a Navman lanyard, if I could send a Navman lanyard to Emma, to you, I would really like to be able to do that. Let's get that, Emma. Chuggs, Yarmulke Head Shave Party going now. Please ask the boss if half of this can go to the cause. Spin that mofo. Nobody deserves cancer. Fight that shit like the Chiefs game. I got you 100%. Cancer needs canceled.
He said, DJ, spin that shit.
Hey, DJ, spin that ish. Nabman, I can't take money out of YouTube. Gamal! Another one!
But I will say, Navman, stick around because in March, we're going to do a show with all the proceeds going there.
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put Emma in the duck race. I can't. So the reason why I always tell people to, honestly, Venmo us is because I have that money and I can put that towards different things. When you guys put it on YouTube, I have no control over it. So it goes to YouTube. Chat Sports gets the money. We invest it back into the company. But here's what I'll do. Emma, I'm going to put you in for the duck race, the Chuck race. If you end up winning, VT Holmes, you got to get in contact with me. That way I can send you the money. I'm banged up, but put me in the Chuck race.
Let's go. Lash, thoughts on Jackson Dart, Mitch?
I'm just not a fan, dude. I feel like it's a lazy comp because I do think Jackson Dart is a lot better than Sam Ellinger. I do think he's a lot better than, I'm just trying to think of some college system quarterbacks where he is good. And I don't want to take that away. He is good. But there's a huge difference between being good in college and being consistently good in the NFL. And until Dart shows me, he's not close to me, right? I said it earlier, I'm would you want Tyson Bagent to be your Raiders quarterback? No, nobody wants that. And that's kind of where Jackson Dart sits for me right now. All right, y'all. I got to knock this back, okay? I got to knock this beer bong back, and then after that, sorry, the gimbal bong got me a little bit. The gimbal bongs got me feeling nicey. Though, I'll tell you what, for Nabman, that was a big one. Nabman needed that. Because that means now Nabman is at 32. He's got a 10-bang lead over Patrick B. And a 22-bang lead over Taino. That's craziness, man. Craziness. Chuggs, I need you to hold down the fort. I'm going to go take a quick pee. When I get back, I got a deal for all y'all. And here's my deal. Here's my cliffhanger. Do you guys want me to do an entire live show with my dog, Chuck? Today's Chuck's birthday. He's a good boy. Happy birthday to him. If you guys want me to do, instead of me doing an IG walk home, I'm going to do an entire live show with my dog, Chuck, this Friday on my off day. Alex is out of town. Chuck and I are going to be getting wet and wild. He told me, Mitch, fill up that dog bowl. Cannonball coming.
How many interceptions did AOC have by game 5? How many, fellas? I'd have to look. Tequila shot clock while Mitch is gone. Tequila shot clock while Mitch is gone. Zahn, you know the rules. And I'm actually surprised. You know what? While Mitch is gone, I'm going to do one more thing. We have a little boot roulette going, but we've only had Zahn get in. So I'm going to up the stakes. I'm going to do maybe raise the cow a little bit, raise the stakes. Here is the wheel right now. I'm going to take away, let's say, I'm going to take away half of the nothings. So we got 5 nothings, a Jeremy boot, a Mitch boot, $50 to spin the roulette wheel, and Zahn getting it going only like Zahn knows how to. Zahn is the little devil on your shoulder who's like, do it. He is, dude, I wish I could go back, Zahn, to whenever we were in Vegas. That was one of the most fun trips I've ever had, even though you left your shirts and stuff at Allegiant Stadium. Honestly, that was one of the most fun trips I've ever had to Las Vegas with you and Taino. That meal we had, oh my God. Blue Richard was there. That shit was a blast. But Zahn, as always, he's doing Zahn things, getting it going. Just LOL. Just LOL. Oh my goodness. We've got a lot of people rocking and rolling with us. Reminder, we're going to be live until 3 o'clock Eastern time, so 2 o'clock Central, 3 o'clock. What is that? 2 o'clock, or no, 3 o'clock Central, so maybe, 1 o'clock West Coast? Maybe noon West Coast? Either way, 3 o'clock Eastern time, so we got about 55 more minutes left on today's show. Last live show of 2024. So I asked this at the beginning of the show. I'm going to ask it again. What is your Raiders' New Year's resolution? Let me know down in the chat. Your Raiders' New Year's resolution going into 2025. Once again, hopefully everybody's having a good New Year's Eve. Be safe. Make sure you Uber tonight. It's going to be crazy out there in the streets. I want to make sure everybody's safe tonight. So if you are going to go out, if you are going to drink, make sure you have a ride home because tonight will be one of the more dangerous nights to drive. Oh my God, Zahn, you psycho. There's going to be psychos like Zahn just running around in the streets, sending in super chats for Mitch to do tequila shots. Zahn is wild. Zahn is just wild. Oh, guys, it's actually not my birthday today. Today is Chuck's birthday. So a couple people got it mixed up. Today is Chuck's birthday. My birthday's in September, but it's Mitch's dog, Chuck. It's his birthday today. But I appreciate all the well wishes from Gatling Gun and everybody in the chat. Nav, man, out of respect for David Zahn. That's hilarious. But yeah, it is Chuck's birthday today. But thank you, everybody, for the well wishes. Zahn sending in another one. Rex MLP says Draft Thad Castle. Great show. Let me know in the chat if you know what show Rex MLP is talking about. This was one of my favorite shows that I've seen whenever I was growing up. It was hilarious. Mitch getting started early now. Oh. He said he's ready to go home. We are actually getting out a little early because he has plans with Alex. They're going out to like a little bar crawl, then going home to spend New Year's with Chuck on his birthday, little Chiquito. Rebel, I'm going to rewatch this segment as I'm doing last-minute restock before I return to work on New Year's Day. Happy New Year to everybody. Happy New Year to you, Rebel. Hopefully you are having a good New Year's Eve. Can't wait to see y'all all next year. I won't see y'all till next year, guys. I won't see y'all till next year. So get it in while it lasts. Giggity. Navman, out of respect for David Zahn, go. Oh, Scheffler's in the chat. Mr. John Scheffler. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. This is going to be bad. This is going to be bad. A lot of legends, a lot of OGs in the chat, and Mitch might be screwed. Mitch might be screwed. Today is David's DL birthday, too. I know he's an Eagle fan, but he can get a shout-out anyway. Hey, shout out to David. Shout out to David. Just because I want to be like Zahn. I want to be like Zahn whenever I grow up. I want to be like Zahn whenever I grow up, just shirt cocking it. Just shirt cocking it. And he said, Zahn is just an absolute madman. Raider Moore representing today. Navman saying, go! Artie Cervantes! Y'all are gonna screw him up. I do not. I do not. Y'all are going absolutely bananas right now, though.
What on earth is happening while I'm gone?
Lane Craig says shot. Everybody. All right, Navman, last one. We'll count it. Last one, we'll count it. Artie with the 50. Take a drink with. All right, let's see, Artie. That's a bang.
All right, timeout. What the hell just happened?
You just got Zahn bombed.
I got what?
You got Zahn bombed. We're going to
Zahn-
count them all up.
Zahn bombed.
Artie, let's see what it's going to be.
Come on! Come on! Wait,
Oh.
what happened to all the other ones?
I said we're going to raise the stakes. I took away some of them. So now there's only 1, 2, 3, 4 nothings. Every 50 we spin the wheel until one of us does a boot. We've only gotten 2 50s, but I took away some of them because people are going crazy right now.
Bro, I'm
in the
telling you
chat.
this right now. If I got to do this boot, I'm in trouble.
Well, you have a lot of shots to do because beginning with David Zahn,
I'm listening.
we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Rebel, last Super before I start the no spin challenge for January. There you go, Rebel. Scheffler, again.
The no spend challenge is hilarious, Rebel.
Nav,
I'm
man.
telling you what right now, I'm in trouble. This I got a dinner reservation
I
tonight.
told them-
Alex is going to hate
I
me.
told them we're going till 3 o'clock Eastern, so they have 50 minutes of debauchery, and then they said bet. They said bet.
I'm not going to be able to get through this.
I'll take 2 or 3 for you.
I'm not going to lie, they're baby shots.
Dinner reservation at Chili's?
No.
Little triple dip?
But funny chili story for you. funny chili story for you. Here's my story.
I'm sticking to it.
My mom wanted to go eat,
Davidson.
and Alex is like, "Well, where would you want to go eat?" And she's like,
Give it Chili's.
"Do you have a Chili's?" And I'm like, "Mom, respectfully, I'm not taking you to Chili's down here in Texas." Fast forward 3 days later, we're looking for a place to go eat, and like, I'm gonna have to pull into this Chili's right here. So we ended up not getting food. We walked in. Literally, they go, "Sorry, our like person who was like sitting people down left." I'm not kidding you. There was like 30 people in this waiting line, and they were just they weren't accommodating anybody. So we left. We left.
All right. Artie Cervantes. That was a spin for you. David says spin it. Artie says one more spin. Navman said spin it again. Also, every 50 is a bang as well. So Navman, that's another bang. Zon, that's 2 bangs for you.
I gotta do a better job keeping
Artie,
track here.
That's 2 bangs for you. Navman says,
This is gonna be bad, isn't it? This is just gonna be one of those shows where, in like 20 minutes from now, it's gonna be.
so we've got 3 spins.
It's gonna be bad.
Let's see. There's 4 nothings. If we get 4 nothings, this is going to be electric.
I hope we do. I'm like, I can't. Keep going. Keep going. Oh, a little bit of a glitch. Little bit of a glitch.
So that takes away that one. So ours are touching now.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Is that the case?
2 more spins.
Hey, just so all y'all know, Jeremy said it, not me. Ours are touching right now. Also, we just hit 400 likes, so this is for you.
Oh!
This is the
Mitch
disaster.
boot. Mitch boot. Mitch boot. Mitch boot.
This is bad.
Which means I'm going to put the nothings back, and we're going to start the wheel again. I'm only going to put 8 nothings, though. We started with 10. I'm going to do 8 nothings to start off once again.
Oh, dude, this is bad, dude.
Mitch boot. Mitch boot.
This
Mitch
is,
boot. Mitch boot.
This is gonna be spicy.
So I'm going to go fill up the Taino pimp boot.
Go get the pimp
I'll be
boot.
right back. But, Mitch, let's talk about New Year's resolution.
I think I'm gonna try to drink less in 2025. I think we're gonna try to drink just a little bit less. And what? One more spin? Guys, I'm not gonna lie. These shots are not big. All right, I'm not trying to cheat you out of anything. Dude, these shots are not good, man. Who? This is for Nabman? Come on. Come on. Ah! Dude. A Mitch boot right now is the last thing that we needed. I'm just telling y'all right now. It's the last thing that any of us needed. Yeah. Jeremy's going to go fill up the pimp boot. I'm telling you what, right now, I'm going to do this boot, and then I'm going to go pee. Okay? We're going to do the boot, and then we're going to go pee. The fact that we got 45 minutes of this shit show is unbelievable, but if I have a favor to ask, Jeremy did just leave. Okay? I say we do a tune o'clock for Jeremy. You guys down to do a tune o'clock for Jeremy? Blaine said, Mitch, you said you wanted to get weird. Oh, Blaine, believe me when I tell you this. I'm excited to get weird. I'm excited to get weird. The problem is here, I'm already a little bit banged up. So I think I'm going to do this boot. I'm going to go eat. We got some bread and we got some pizza. I'm going to eat a little bit of that. And then I'm telling you what right now, we're about to get wild. Nabman says tuna clock, $10. So the problem is I can't do 10 because we only have tequila, and you guys would kill Chuggs. I already know. I already know how y'all are. You guys would kill Chuggs. So Zod said this one's for Chuggs. So are you guys okay with this? I'm gonna give Chuggs my remaining shots. I don't know if he is okay with that, but nah, I can't do that. I can't do that. Chuggs has got one. Nabman! Oh, no. Zon and Nabman are about to pour it on Chuggs. Let's go! Keep them coming! Keep them coming! Another one from Mark! Bang!
I went to go fill up the boot.
Oh, we're also going to count that one. You're not on mic yet.
How is that fair?
I can't hear you, so therefore it counts. It counts. That's 4 tequila shots for Mr. Chuggs. 4 tequila shots for Mr. Chuggs.
That's y'all. I'm getting screwed. I went to go fill up your boot.
5 tequila shots.
I went.
6 tequila shots. 6 tequila shots.
I'm getting screwed.
Zod said, dude, Zod's down right now.
And now, why can't I hear? Oh my God! I'm just like,
Bro, I'm not
I'm
kidding
all
you.
over the place right now.
I'm just going to warn you. This is my last shot. I'm not touching that tequila for the rest of this show. That's all you. I don't need it. Honey Bun, if you're watching this show right now, I'm sorry. Our dinner at 6:30 is not going to be great. I mean, the food's going to hit. The conversation might be a little bit lacking, though. If you're sitting next to me at wherever I'm having New Year's Eve dinner tonight, I apologize. I apologize.
Ah. All right. Well, I can't hear, but I know.
Another one! We'll count it. 7 for Mr. Jeremy Chuggs.
I don't know why I can't hear.
What, you can't hear me?
Well, it's like I know the stream can hear, but my mic?
You have 7 shots. In case you were wondering. 7. I love the console fix. All he sent in was 7. LOL. Another one! William Griffin! 8! Until we can hear Chuggs!
You can hear me.
Oh, we can?
Yeah.
All right, well, no more then.
I just my headset is not working.
All right, no more then. There's no more. That's 8.
I don't know why it's not working.
I don't know either.
Check. Yeah, I don't know. They should all be able to hear me though.
I got to do a boot. And then I'm going to go pee. Is that all right?
Yeah.
All right.
I can figure out how to.
Oh, also, we got to spin the dreidel for Mark. Gotta spin the dreidel for Mark. Which, Mark, I don't know, man. This is going to be an interesting day. Ron Raspberry's comment, I love this show. You know, I'm glad you guys enjoy it because I'm not kidding you. I woke up this morning and I was literally just like, kind of just want to hang out with Raider Nation. Like, kind of just want to get a little bit wild, get a little bit weird. This year has sucked, dude. Like, and I hate saying that because we have made so many, like, new friends on this show this year. I feel like Nabman's new to the show this year. Like, in the last 300. Nabman, when did you subscribe? When did you start watching? Right? Like, one of my guys, Noah Suavemente. He's kind of new this season. You know, I mean, like, it's always cool to meet brand new people each and every year. And I felt like this year we weren't able to meet as many new people because the Raiders were so damn bad. But,
I feel like I'm going crazy because headset just stopped working. I don't know. All right, well, F me.
I'm blitzed.
I'm just going to go through all these.
I am engaged date.
F me.
We are in a full-on engaged date blitz right now.
I'm getting F'd. I'm getting F'd.
I watched you since you had a tie on, Mitch. Oh, you mean like an actual like tie, a suit tie? That's crazy. That's Facebook times. Bro, Facebook times were wild. All right, I'm going to do this boot.
I owe 7.
I'm going to go take a pee.
Again?
After this, yeah, we're going to have to go pee. There's some leakage that needs to happen after this boot.
2.
You got it?
Miguel says 8 shots. Yep. I was 2. I have 6 more. What jerseys are they wearing? Wild. I'm just getting 3. Shit. I dropped it.
Oh, there's a lot of backwash in this boot right now. I'm not going to lie to you. But we're cruising. I'm not doing any more tequila.
Oh. There you go. F that, Mitch. This one's for Mitch. This one's for Mitch now. Noah, glad you're here as well. I owe 4 more. Screw that. I went to go Mitch. Ha! Scheffler, that'd be evil. That'd be evil. But I will say this. If he doesn't want to do tequila shots, we'll do this. Every 2 20s, little beer bong action? I don't know. $40 beer bongs? Is that what we want? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I let my boss know the headset's not working, even though I know y'all can hear me. Ira, you are wild, my man. He says, okay, later, nation. About to get Oh my God, bro. That is go get him, Tiger. Go get him, Tiger. Vigorously is wild. Vigorously is absolutely wild. Oh my God, Ira. Holy shit, that's funny. Oh. Woo! Who y'all got? Who y'all got in tonight's matchup between Penn State and Boise State? Let me know. Tonight's matchup, Penn State, Boise State. Let me know. Navman says, Zahn recruited me early in 2023 when I found the channel. Met Mitch. Oh, my God. Met Mitch and Chuggs in NC when I had some health problems and all was questionable. Game changer for my motivation. Navman, I love you, man. Navman, I love you. I'm glad we were able to meet. You're an absolute real one. Dude, I can't get over what Ira just said, though. That shit has me dying. Aggressive Master Raider says, I like your style. You know what? Scheffler asked for a deal. I'll do this as the deal. Until Mitch gets back, if he doesn't want to do shots, we'll do this. Every 20 is a wheel spin until Mitch gets back. Every 20 is a wheel spin until Mitch gets back. And if you don't know, there's a Jeremy boot, there's a Mitch boot, and there's 7 nothings. Every 20, we'll spin the wheel whenever Mitch gets back. That'll be my deal for y'all because Mitch said no more tequila. He's a little you-know-what. Every 20 will be a wheel spin until Mitch gets back. I'll make that deal. Ooh, got a lot of good matchups. I can't wait for Penn State Boise tonight. That game's going to go wild. They're talking right now on the TV about Oregon versus Ohio State. That should be a really good game tomorrow night. LSU Baylor is good from Rebel Montana, my guy. Ira just said aggressive. Aggressive. Today is day. Oh, yep. What'd you call me?
If you're rejuvenated, do you celebrate Hanukkah? That's
Yes.
that's the question. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I'm banged up right now. Though I had a great trip to the bathroom, I'm ready to fight.
Okay, well
I'm ready to fight for my life right now.
That's good because I said for the next 2 minutes, every 20 is a wheel spin. For the next 2 minutes, every 20 is a wheel spin.
What does that mean?
The wheel you see right there, we're spinning.
So you're telling me every 20 that comes in is a spin of that wheel.
Yes.
That's a disaster. I don't want that. All right, so starting now or while I was away?
As soon as you got back, the first 2 minutes.
Dude, that's scary.
I think, yeah. The sound is still good. I made sure of that.
I was actually going to say that. It's nice in here.
Whenever I turned on the studio, I put the fans on because it was a little toasty.
No, I agree. I can feel one of the vents are open up over here, blowing tons of air. How about that? Hey, man, we got 30 more minutes.
Look at David in the chat.
We got 30 more minutes. Somebody said, get him, hit him. And then
Hit
again, hit him.
Hit him.
I'm telling you what, if your G's start sounding like H's, you should probably put down the booze.
Ooh.
What? Oh, no. What is that?
We've got the LSU versus Baylor in the Texas Bowl. Who we got? LSU or Baylor?
Isn't that sad, though, how much, like, you don't care about college football games anymore? Like, the bowl games don't matter. Did they win? I did take a K-State player in my latest mock draft. All right, y'all. Here's what's going down today. Zahn and Scheffler both just said get him. Problem is, I don't know what you guys are coming after for. I have no idea. What is it? All right, somebody down in the comments section tell me what the hell is happening. I don't know. Everyone just says get him. F it. Get him.
Because I said every 20 is a wheel spin.
Oh, shit. Dude,
So
you're
that's
telling me.
1, 2, that's 3 wheel spins right there.
On that wheel. Dude. Is your name on there? All right, yeah, your name's on. I was like, that's a joke you would make on.
Go!
Come
go!
on.
Go!
Stop!
Go!
Sit! Like, that's a thing that you would do to me.
But, so
That's a thing you would do if you just took out your name.
we have 2 more. I'm going to remove that one. And a reminder, When it lands on one of us, we're going to reset it with the nothings. 2 more wheel spins.
Bro, I'm not kidding you. If this is another boot, I'm not going to be happy. Come on! Come on! Let's go! Come on, man! No. This could be the worst boot race of all time.
We do have one more.
No. Dude, hang on. Let me enjoy this for a little bit longer. We're good, dude. For a moment, there was a moment I went soft. I'm not going to lie to you. A slight second. I went from a solid 3 to a solid 1.5. You know what I mean? Like, solid second. Dude, wow. That was close. Chuggs boot coming up. Though, Zahn said again. So what do we do? All right. Mount Raider more. We'll give it to him. We'll give it to him. Dude, this is wild. Ed Dog, just go somewhere else, man. Today's Chuck's birthday. It's the new year. Just go somewhere else. Yes. I'll never understand. You're a vegan walking into KFC getting upset right now. Chicken's just not your thing. It's all right, man. Just go somewhere else. Like, all I care about today, we talked our Raiders. We had a good time. And if you still want to talk Raiders, believe me, there's no time I'd rather talk about the Raiders when you're a little bit banged up after a few drinks, hanging out with some of your buddies. It was the best conversation I've ever had. That's tonight's show. Let's bring in all of the shit that we've had to deal with in 2024. And I want people to watch today, have a good time. And if you leave today's show with a smile, like, to me, I was told this, Chuggs, I don't know if you ever heard this. If you pick your left foot up, you can go into the new year on the right foot. That's what I'm trying to do. Dude, no? I'm hurting. What do we got?
Ed.
What? Is he gone? He's just... Ed, see, I don't think that at all, man. We make a lot of free content. But at the same time, you got to think, like, if I said to people, hey, let's just party, let's beer, let's drink, like, I used to do that shit. We would make, like, I'm not kidding you, like, you guys would, Zolin, like, back in the day would be like, oh, it's $5 for a shot? Here's 100 shots.
And what's the difference between that and ESPN Plus saying, you have to spend $10 to read this article?
Like, don't get me wrong, like, I hope that there's one day where I don't have to talk about my sponsor in the middle of the show. Like, that's why I like sometimes doing these type of shows, because I think it's like we can have more, like, real-life conversations. Like, I do. I hope that there's one day that I don't have to do a sponsor read in the middle of my show. But at the same time, I'm like, real talk, I'm trying to get married this year. Like, I gotta be able to turn on the lights, put food on my table. Like, the biggest way, like, we do ask for likes. We do ask for comments. We do ask for shares, because I also know, like, if you like this show, you're going to do it, and it helps us. Because, you know, I actually hope that, Ed, you look at Jeremy and I as, like, you're legit honest friends. You're not always going to agree with us. You're not always going to like the stuff that we talk about. But, like, if you and I are, like, actually friends, like, you want us to do well. Real talk, if you can't super chat, which is fine, an easy way to be able to support the show is like, comment, share. Like, those are just obvious ways. And I always want to be an honest person on this, like, program, because it's a two-way street. Chuggs is going to do a boot, and that's how it goes down sometimes. Like, but I appreciate when people can speak up, have their honest opinion, and, you know, like, if you've been watching since 5K subscribers from the bottom of my heart, dude, thank you so much. But I'm also going to be able to have these real-life conversations with you and hope you don't feel some type of way. You're disgusting. Dude, I've never seen anything like it. It's in between. It's kind of like the porn that you watch that's in between, like, that's gross and that's kind of hot. You know, like, it's borderline that. It's right there. you're just like, there's just so much tears, you know?
You're just like, how does he walk?
I don't get it, man. I don't get it. Bro, Azul, what is that now? Is that another one? I can't do another spin. Dude, this is nerve-wracking stuff, man. The throat goat himself.
Go! 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 Oh!
No. Oh my. You want to talk about karma, dude. We were third down and Chuggs away from that happening. Are you kidding me right now?
And
Ron, I'm with you. That would have been sick, dude.
I will say,
That would have been sick.
I will say, there's been a lot of confusion around the whole Chug situation. A lot of people wishing me happy birthday today.
Happy birthday.
This is for Mitch's baby dog.
It's Chuck, my dog. So Chuck is 4 today, in case anybody cares. But that's one of the reasons why I got to get home a little bit earlier today, hence the earlier live show. So
Dylan, is it Pan or Pam?
can you help me with that dilemma? Dilemma?
Yeah, there's been a lot of Chug conversation.
Oh, dude, this is about to get nuts. Anthony Green, you in, and then also Jeremy. I got something for you, and it's gonna be interesting. This is gonna be interesting. I'm not gonna lie to you. This could honestly take a turn, dude. How many people here? Honest question. Because at this point, from here on out, we're just spitballing here. How many people were here when I actually had Chuck on the show? Like, held him in my arms on the show.
Remember, Alex had to use the restroom that day.
Dude, that was getting Chuck in this building was, dude, it was bad. Like, it was not easy. But I held him for 45 minutes at a live show. How many people were here? Some people might remember it.
I know this guy does.
I hope this guy remembers it. Brian Folsom Bang! Bro, sometimes you got to full send it. Also, sometimes you got to full sum it. I'm going full sum tonight. If you're not full sending on New Year's Eve, then you can full sum somewhere else. Bro, I'm telling you this.
Brian.
Dude, this is a big one.
Let's spin your dreidel.
Come on, give me a gimmel.
Gimmel!
Come on!
Brian!
Brian! Folsom! Oh, man! Bro, a gimmel? Dude, that was electric, man. A Brian Folsom gimmel. You got to be shitting me.
You got to be gimmel me.
Bro, I'm not going to lie. If you told me right now somebody gimmeled me, I'd be like, you should call the police.
Hey, babe, what's up?
There's no way. There's no way. I can hear this whole conversation if I just be quiet.
We do need milk from the store.
Yeah, you should definitely get milk.
We also,
You're so funny.
I'm live on the Raiders report right now.
Sorry.
Did we need bread?
I'm repeating everything Danny's saying.
Oh, eggs.
I don't know.
We do only have 2 eggs left.
Okay, that's fine. Do you need something different for tonight? Or what are you wearing? Because I don't know what I'm going to wear.
I think salami's good.
Can you put that strap on for me tonight?
Maybe one more.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll see you later.
Actually, yeah.
Did you take out Sadie?
I don't think we need more meats.
We definitely need more meats.
All right, I love you.
I don't love you. I hate you.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
All right, let me know when the show's over.
Say hi to the fans. Okay, I will.
Don't ever do this again.
Love you. Bye.
Goodbye.
I just gave her the most basic. Like, this is like,
I'm not going to lie. I could hear only like 60% of what she was saying.
get some cookies, bananas. Oh, hold on. I'm getting another call.
Wait, where's the gimbal bong?
Hello? Hello?
There's nothing there. There's nobody there.
It's Navman.
Who?
It's Navman.
I'm not going to lie. I was like, I don't know who just called you, but that man is
You sent me a
southern
picture.
gentleman.
Hold on 1 second. Navman said he sent me a picture.
He sent you a picture?
Yep. Hold on.
If
Hold-
you're watching this right now, I'm sorry. Like,
Oh!
Blue Richards.
Wow. So he's saying Blue Richards went and found a U.S. Marine Corps veteran to give Navman's lanyard to. It was like a Where's Waldo, I Spy competition, and she found a U.S. Marine Corps veteran to give Navman's lanyard to. That's dope.
Wait, really?
Yeah, he just sent me a picture. All right, I love you.
No, dude, send me Nabman. I'm not even kidding you when I tell you this. Like,
He's already. Well, he's probably watching.
Blue Nabman. If that story, if
Blue
that
said-
story's true, like, I'm not like, send me that. Like, I want to talk about that.
Blue, it might not be flattering, but it's in your best light because you're doing something good.
I think that's really freaking cool, dude. Like, I don't know. It's one of those things where I'm like, I get people call it a YouTube channel, and sometimes like I take offense to that because I'm like, the community we've been able to build here, I mean, that's legendary to me. It's so much more than just a YouTube channel. Like, that's a story right there where I'm like, two people met through the Raiders report, I think. You meet through the Raiders report, and then somebody, like, you doing something for somebody else that you meet on a YouTube channel to me, like, that's proof where I'm like, it's so much more than like, it's a community. And the 200, 300, 400, I don't know how many people are watching right now. Like, those are my people, and I appreciate that. Like, that's cool.
I have a question for everybody because at this point it's mostly the real ones in the chat who know like
let's be honest.
this is just the shitty part of the show. Do you have any New Year's traditions? I know somebody said you stand on your right foot.
Nope.
No, you stand on your left foot so you can
start on the right foot in the new year.
Yes.
That.
Some black-eyed peas and cabbage. I don't know why. My mom always said it's supposed to give you good luck in the new year. Do you have any New Year's traditions? Like you do it every single New Year's or?
I mean, I'll tell you this. I never got punched in the face or peed on, so I don't know what traditions you're talking about. We
What?
used to just do like.
I said cabbage or black-eyed peas.
What?
I said cabbage or black-eyed peas.
Oh, I thought you said you got punched and you had black eyes and got peed on.
No.
I'm gonna say.
I don't even know how you heard that.
So my mom's family does pork and sauerkraut, which I'm not a big fan of sauerkraut. Alex's family does grapes.
Grapes?
Yeah, like you're.
Does
Whatever.
she save more than she?
Honestly, I don't know. I'll say this though. Dude, what a skit that is. I'm thinking about that right now in my head. No, so basically, like, think about the wish you make when you're about to blow out your candles. Like on your. You blow out candles on Hanukkah, or is it just Christmas? Or your birthday?
I think it's just your. I don't know anybody that blows out candles on Christmas.
I'm sorry, that's the boot, dude. I'm pretty banged up. No, but when
you're-
you blow out candles,
You
think
do not
about the
blow-
wish. But think about the wish you make in your head when you blow out candles.
My aunt always.
That's the wish I make when I eat the grapes.
My aunt always said, if you blow out your candles on your birthday, the only way it comes true is if you sleep with the candles underneath your pillow the night of your birthday.
That sounds like the maybe third most popular way a house burns down.
No, but they're already blown out.
Okay.
How would it?
Yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't sound safe. Why am I going to sleep with candles underneath my pillow? Then you can't flip the pillow over,
So
can you?
Probably not.
Yeah.
Unless
I'm waking
are
up
you
and
a
Chuck is chewing on that
Are,
candle.
are you a one pillow or a two pillow sleeper? I sleep with two pillows. I
Yeah.
have a base pillow and then I have my comfier pillow that I kind of maneuver.
Yeah. I have. I'll tell you that it depends if I'm
If
in.
you're a three pillow, Ron, if you're a three pillow sleeper, I can't believe that that's true. That's wild. 3 pillows is too much.
Here's the thing: when I had my own bed, right, own bed, just me, 3 pillows.
No, stacked up. You stacked 3
No,
pillows on
no,
top
hear
of
me
each
out.
other.
Hear me out. Hear me out. Sometimes even 4. It's crazy. If I go to a hotel by myself, I'm using every pillow.
To put your head on.
No, I'm going to put 2 in the back like I usually would, and then I'm going to go another pillow here, another pillow here.
No, I'm saying like for your head though.
Yeah, just 2. If you're anything more than that, you're going to look like one of those Egyptians with like all those rings on their neck. I don't know how that works, but that's what I thought of.
But I do sometimes when my back hurts sleep with a pillow between my legs.
That's
Pause, not. Zahn said he's a 5-pillow sleeper.
What
No
is that?
way is that.
Zahn actually, when Zahn sleeps, he prefers to sleep with his seatbelt on in the upright position.
He sleeps in a coffin like this.
Dude, that would be hilarious. No, I've seen Zahn fall asleep at the bar. So
I think Zahn, at least how it was in Vegas, was Zahn likes to sleep face down, ass up. That's the way he likes to sleep.
dude, you know what I actually got the other day?
You just walk in and Zahn's like this.
So a few Chiefs fans found my post of the picture of Zahn, you and me, of being like, we bet $1 million on the Raiders to win. And I had all these like Chiefs fans like notifications like, this guy lost $1 million. Like these guys, and I'm like, Jesus Christ. I think it was what, $70? I think it was $70. Dude, that's hilarious. Zahn, I miss you. I miss your musk.
Live Oak, my wife's husband took away my bed.
What does that mean?
Blaine, did you get me in the Chuck race, Mitch?
What's
What's the update on that? Where are we looking at in the Chuck race?
I just got some devastating news. So the duck race is at right now 20 to get in for a chance to win 180. What?
Zahn said, Jeremy, you promised not to tell.
I'm not gonna lie to you. The message I just sent you, it's gonna move some mountains. All right, there's gonna be mountains that are gonna be moved. Let's just say that.
Are you talking about
If
this
you've
one?
never been to Mount Rainermore, here's at least the good start of some wild ass shit, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. Brian Folsom Bang! Oh my goodness, Brian Folsom.
Did he put a message with it in the Venmo? He said, I think I saw earlier that he said, read the message. Did it come with a message?
It said, Happy New Year, and let's do this. Dude.
All right, that's a beer bong and a dreidel spin. Here we go.
Happy New Year, let's do this thing. Gene. Sorry, Mr.
That's one bang.
Brian Folsom. I'm not going to lie, I was really rooting for that to be more. I'm not going to lie, really, really wanted that to be more. All right, random deal. If somebody hits the gong, hear me out. On the one that they hit the gong on, if it lands on Gimmel, it's 10. If it lands on Hay, it's 6. If it lands on Shin, it's 2. If it lands on None, it's 4. Does that math check?
Also, we never did the live show with Chuck.
Yeah. All right, here's my question to all y'all, okay?
Or how about we just do the last step?
Oh,
Because I think
dude.
we've hit all the steps. We just haven't talked about it.
All right, that's fair.
Because step 1 was 10 people to join the duck race.
We got 10 people in the duck race.
We did.
So I'm going to be honest. I had this like whole thing where I was
We-
like, if you guys want me to do a show with Chuck, my dog, today's his birthday, we're going to do this whole thing. We're not going to do it now. So need 3 banks, 3 jelly beans. Yeah, we already ate 3 jelly beans. Need 100 more likes. You want to show some appreciation? Hit that like button. All right, need 1 gimbal to reveal step 5. We've had a gimbal. Awesome. Need 10 people to join the duck race to reveal step 6. Actually, technically, if we're going to be technical here, okay, I need 2 more people to enter the duck race. 2 more people. 2 more people to enter the duck race, and then we'll reveal the next step.
Zahn says we still owe a wheel spin. Which,
I hate disagreeing with Zahn because
Yeah.
that usually is a backfire.
okay.
All right, hang on a second, though. Jesus Christ. Trigger fingers. Oh, no. This is not good. This is not. This is no bueno. Dude, you. Zahn, man, bro. Oh, man. You know that Peter Griffin meme? This is the real life version of that meme. Dude, I'm not going to lie to you right now.
Brian said Pabst or Natural Light, Mitch.
I probably did more natural light. Also, the Cowboys just released Zeke. Tom just ended his New Year's Eve dinner. And he's going to go live. I'm just kidding, but it wouldn't surprise me. Dude, imagine getting peed on at 12 a.m. New Year's Day. Honestly, that's kind of how it felt when the Raiders beat the Jags. I actually think I'd rather get peed on. I'd rather if you told me right now I could close my eyes on New Year's Eve, get peed on, and the Raiders have the number 1 overall pick, I think I'd actually probably do it. I know it's a crazy statement to make, but I think I'd actually probably do it. Suavemente. Dude, yeah, she would not like, yeah, she wouldn't be very happy about that. She's probably the only person I would let pee on me. No, I'm not letting Chuck pee on me. Alex. Legitimately, I'm not going to lie to you. If you told me anybody outside of Alex has to pee on me, I'm not going to do it. That's probably the only acceptable person. Aggressive. You're not wrong. It does matter. Oh, dude, this is not going to be good. All right, I'm just going to warn you here. I'm going to do this boot, and I'm going to have to go pee. 5 minutes left. This is devastating. How many more spins? Can we get Chuggs to do a boot?
The wheel did,
At this point, I'm just down. I want you to do a boot. I'm down for the risk.
the wheel just reset. So
I'm down for the risk.
there's 8-0s and then a Mitch boot and a Chuggs boot.
Holy shit. Dude.
I'll still give the deal for $20 wheel spins
That's just
for the final
suicidal.
5 minutes.
93 Nav, man. You're in. Charles G. You're in. All right. Final step for the Chuck. We got it. Oh, dude. This is bad.
Aggressive says, Nation, effing love y'all.
Bro, I'm
Here's
not
to a
kidding
better
you.
year.
I'm not kidding you. When I go back and I watch these shows, look how young I look, I feel like, in the beginning. And by the end of it, dude, I look banged up.
We need somebody to rip the gong or 3 bangs, and Mitch does a live show with Chuck on Friday.
All right, so basically the idea was Alex is out of town. Guys being guys. I'm going to have Chuck there.
Who's close to a gong rip? I know Navman's close. Zahn has probably sent $200 in just 20s.
All right, how about this?
TJ Parkinson has sent in a couple. He's semi-close.
If anybody that is banged tonight anybody that is banged tonight.
Navman, I think, is one bang away.
Here's my deal. If anybody that is banged tonight sends in a 200, gone.
Navman's a bang away.
If you can do the math on it, because I'm going to be honest, my math skills right now are not great.
Yep.
Though the gong is in the other room. That's the issue. That's the issue.
Yeah, Navman's basically one bang away.
One away.
When you say the other room,
B.
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 Okay.
I mean, it's got to be. It's got to be.
But
dude.
if he bangs, you know what a gong rip does.
What?
It's a boot.
That's for you. Dude, that's got to be for you.
I'll do if he rips the gong, I'll do the boot.
Yeah, I can't do the boot. If we got another boot, I actually don't know what I would do.
But you have to drink that before I drink mine.
That's just
Or you owe another boot.
I just got a message. Also, I actually thought it was really late because we usually do these shows and it's late. I looked down, I had a message and it said it was 2:58. And I'm like, oh, when was that? It was earlier in the day. Harrison goes, yo, you have Navman's real name. Dude's a legend. Need his shipping info.
Oh yeah, Navman won something Notre Dame.
Notre Dame. He won Notre Dame something. Like, I'm not kidding you, Navman, from the bottom of my heart, when I get a message like that from like some of our like guys that work here, like the fact that you watch this show us love, but then also show love to like a lot of the other chat sports channels, like seriously, like that means a lot to me. So like getting a message like that, like I'm not kidding you, the amount of times like certain names are like said throughout our office, like I wish we almost had like a reality TV show at times, because I wish y'all could see like how often we talk about you guys. Like it's kind of crazy. It really truly is. Like when the Celtics are like playing like really solid basketball, like Allie's always like, dude, Navman this, Ed Robbins that. Like it's really cool. Because I think about him like, all right, like not only do I want you to show me love, like I want y'all to show like our chat sports people here love. Navman! Navman! Oh, what a disaster this is going to be. I'm just telling you, man. Oh no. I'm just telling you, it's going to be bumpy. If you're not already sitting down and you're not already buckled in, there's about to be some turbulence. Oh, Darth, you're in. I'm just going to tell you now, your names are going to be butchered. They're not going to be spelled correctly. Joe Jimenez, you're also in. Kevin Cruz Costner is in. David Zahn is in.
I have a question for you.
And 93 Navman is in. 20 to win, $250.
I have a question.
I don't want to know.
There's a boot right here.
Yep.
Would you trade 5 beans for a boot?
Bro.
I'll take the boot. Would you trade?
Dude, I don't think I could do it. I'm not kidding you. I don't think I could do it. Dude, 5 of those things, honestly, just the thought of that made me want to throw up. Like, when Brett walked in here and he ate like 3 jelly beans. That was really impressive. Ew. When he came in here that one day and he ate like 3, like it wasn't that big of a deal. I'm not going to lie. It was I was so mind blown of it that I couldn't handle it. Again, maybe food just grosses me out a lot more, but yeah, it was disgusting. I don't know how I'm gonna do this food though. Dude, this is gonna be bad. What's worse is you just crushed it. Dude, just absolutely just crushed it. Is Brett in the office right now, Blaine? I think he is, but because of all the construction, I'm not going to lie to you, I don't want to have to go get him. Like, it used to be one of those things where we could literally just be like, yo, Brett, can you get over here real quick? Now, if he heard us scream from here, like, honestly, somebody probably died. Where are you going? All right, Jeremy's going to go pee. You know what that means. So here's my deal to everybody out there. Every person that gets in the duck race right now, $20 Venmo. $20 Venmo is a shot. Jeremy shot. Me shot. Jeremy shot. Might give the next one to Jeremy as well. And then I'll go, and we'll just do that. I want the duck race to get big. I want the chuck race, my bad. The chuck race to get big. I want somebody to go home with some like legit money. Don't get me wrong. Right now, you would win $250, but I want some people to get in. How about this? We did a big shout out earlier for Emma. Emma, I'm gonna put another 20 of my money in for you. So again, if it lands on Emma, please, VT Holmes, get in contact with me on Venmo so I can send you the money. So I got one in for Emma. You know what? I'm gonna put one in for Chuggs. He doesn't know I'm gonna do it, but he's gonna take a lot more of the shots if you guys actually get in. So he deserves it. So that's on me. Chuggs gets in. So if Chuggs wins, please don't get mad. It just goes to Chuggs. And I hope when you guys like see us like do all these duck races, I hope if you're somebody that's a new watcher, and if you're a new watcher in this group, you know, this is an interesting group to be a part of. But like real talk, like you do get the money, like we do send it. Like I'm not gonna cheat you guys out on that. There's been a lot of people watching the show tonight that have won the money in these duck races, chuck races. So, you know, I hope if you're watching the show, like I'm an honest person, okay? Like I feel like everyone's like everyone. I feel like I'm a good dude. You're gonna get your money. Bottom line. But if this is the first time you're seeing this, oh my goodness, I am pretty banged up right now. All right, Chuck. So I made a deal. I said every single. What are you doing? Are you stabbing me right now? All right. So I made a deal. And I said every person that enters the duck race is a shot. So, well, technically, Zahn technically said F you. But the good news is this. I gave you an entry in the duck race. So, the only way you get to keep that entry, though, is if you take 4 of those and I take 1. Or, I will take 2 and you can take 3.
I'll take 4 for the money.
4 for the money. All right, so the people that got in the race, Matt Fluhey is in. Zahn, in. When? Well, technically, yes. Nabman, technically, as soon as this show ends, like, if Jeremy wanted, he could cut the cord on this piece, and this would be yours. Which, dude, I actually, like, I don't want to tell you how. When you win, I don't know, I would actually like for you to drink it. I'm curious how it tastes. No?
It's just $1,800.
All right. Or, though, Nabman, when the Raiders win the Super Bowl, or if all of us hang out again, we take shots. But make sure PG 2869 isn't there, because or else it's going to be a disaster. That guy likes tequila too much. That guy likes tequila too much. Mark. Kawa. All right, so right now it is 20 to win, $320. Dude, that's pretty dope. I'm not going to lie. That's disgusting. I mean, that's close. I mean, that looks like a Dollar General version of a Kawasaki. You're like, is it going to come with 2 tires or 1? I'm not sure. Sakura! That's because you're saying it like that. Dude, that's funny. Also, in case you're wondering, we are 47 likes away from another shot. Dude, I don't know if I can do that one. All right, that's the only way I'm doing another shot for the rest of the show. It's the only way. If you told me right now we'd get 500 people to click the like button on today's show, I don't know if I would have believed it. Dude, Ron Raspberry just got in the race. Let's freaking go, Ron. Oh, and Chef. All right. Ron Raz, you in? Mr. Scheffler, you in? Come on, Chef. Come on, man. Come on, man. Dude, that's legendary. All right, so what do we got here? What? What do you do? Yeah, how do you think of that, though? You know what I mean?
I'll say this.
The
Live
ul-
Oak
the
is
ul-
genuinely one of the funniest people on the show.
What's crazy is what if it's like a Netflix documentary 20 years from now? It's like a man called for help every day live on YouTube. Nobody listened to him. And
His-
everything he's put in the comments
his-
was true.
His wife cheating on him with his boyfriend every day.
Everybody in the show would be like, you're like, holy shit, like that guy every day was spamming that, and we didn't listen.
It's like the boy who cried wolf.
But the wolf was actually gnawing on his leg. Oh, dude. Let the boy watch. He needs to learn like I learned.
From my pop and his daddy
Father.
before him.
Oh, my God. This dinner tonight is going to be a disaster.
Doug Dador,
It's
kind of off
going
here
to be
for
so.
Carlson.
I'm going to have to buy more champagne. It's going to
Yeah.
be bad.
Doug Dador, I thought the same thing. Carlson's been kind of having a down year as well. But also, I couldn't imagine if you're a kicker and your team's like 2-12. I don't know. Maybe the pressure's off a little bit. I don't know.
I mean, honestly, the Raiders have a legit, you could consider moving on from Carlson. I don't think the Raiders do it. I believe his cap hit next year is $4.35
Could
million.
you imagine if they brought in his brother to do a kicking battle?
Yeah, I mean, Daniel's so much better than Anders. So much better. But he's like I want to say he's like $4.35 million. Like, I don't know if you risk getting a worse kicker. Like, Daniel's not great, but at the same time, when he goes out there, I do feel like he's going to make it.
Yeah.
Like, and I think, like, if you're an NFL team, like, that's a good, important thing to have. And it's not a lot of money. It's more than, average probably for a kicker, but I do think he's better than your average kicker. But there's been times this season you're like, gee, I mean, it's been bad.
All right. Send me over the list of names. We're going to do this Chuck race. And a lot of people calling for it. I think in the new year it might call for a new member of Mount Raidermore. That's all I'm going to say. 2025, we might get a new member of Mount Raidermore.
I'm listening.
That's all I'm saying.
That's what you're saying. He's making a list. Ah, shit, I sent it to you. It's on
TV.
me. Hang on. Like, going back in the history books, I'm going to look at all the message I sent TV. I'm going to be like, it's so many names. How many people, Edwin? Right now, 34 people.
Your future son or daughters.
20 to win, $340.
Your future son or daughters can be like, Dad, who's Darth Badass?
You're like, all right, well, Uncle Darth. Funny story. There's going to be a Netflix show on that, How I Met Darth Badass.
Ba, 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 ba.
Just two little kids sitting on a couch.
Da, 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 da.
Dude, I need a beer.
Check it twice.
He's going to find out who's naughty and nice. Oh, dude. I'm not going to lie. I felt like I had like the hiccups, and I don't want to get those again.
All right.
All
Here
right,
we
man.
go.
What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? So you're telling me right now the winner of this Chuck race is going to go home with $340. Have you shuffled them?
I did.
All right. You guys ready? Winner of this race going home with 340 doll hairs. Sounds good? Also, Nabman's spamming lanyards. I see a bunch of people spamming lanyards. Also, the person that comes in second place. Second place, okay? You're going to get a lanyard from 93 Nabman. I'll send it to you. So just make sure you send me your shipping address. Cool? Cool? 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Come on, Chef. Come on, Chef. Ron, Raz, Blaine, Craig. If your name's spelled wrong, it's your fault that you trusted me to spell it right. Here we go. 47 seconds. Nabman's got the lead right now.
I don't like where I am.
I'm not going to lie to you right now. If Nabman wins this, I'm worried it's bad for us. Yeah, you looked like Chuck. So I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of rooting for you right now. And I actually kind of wish I would have got in this race for Chuck. You know what I mean? Kind of wish I would have done that now. So now I'm rooting for you through Chuck. So I think that you're going to win. Though, Tyler dueling makes me think of a little bit of drooling. Chuck, like streaks, could be something that helps
There
him
I
win.
go. I'm gone. I'm done.
Oh, I think you stepped on a rock. Or a garbage truck came out. He hates those. Though right now it's Matt Fluhey, but watch out for Zahn. Watch out for Zahn up here. Uh-oh. Who's this? Who's this? I think it's Nabman! Oh my goodness! Dude, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm nervous about sending him money. I don't even want to send it to him. This guy, Nabman, make sure you keep it, all right? I mean it.
Second place, Joe Jimenez.
If you don't keep all this money, I'm putting your shipping address on Twitter.
I went down. I went down hard. I went down hard.
Nabman, I'm not kidding you. If you send any of this back, I'm putting your shipping address on Twitter.
Oh.
$340 to Mr. 90. I mean, I always say, like, I am a big believer in karma. Like, I really do. I feel like when you put good energy out into the world, like, good shit happens. Like, the MVP of the month of December. The MVP probably of today's show. I mean, honestly, like, I see what a lot of people do around here at Chat Sports. Nabman shows love to, dude, so many people. Like, Joey the other day was just talking about Nabman, you know, our Ravens guy. Like, I am a believer that when you put good energy into the world, honestly, man, like, good shit happens. So, here's what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to hop on out of here with Jeremy Chuggs. Now, I want to say this. Like, I wanted to do today's show to have a lot of fun.
Oh, Blaine did send in a super. I know he doesn't feel that it's necessary, but 93 should be elevated to Mount Raidermore before this live ends. Let's close out the year on a high note. From Blaine Craig.
The thing is, okay, what I usually like to do is at least talk to Mount Raider more, see what they have to say. I probably know the answer on it, but like I also want like Mount Raider more to be here like when it happens. Cuz it's one of those things to me where we started this like really inclusive group of a lot of people that have done a lot for this show, monetarily, but also, get down there in the comments, like show love to people, and I think also like just show people like honestly how to behave like in a YouTube channel or on a YouTube platform, because you see it all the time. Like people like just think that you can walk in here and just say whatever you want. Like I want people when they walk into the Raiders Report to walk in the way that you would walk in a home, right? Like you wouldn't walk into a home being like just screaming shit. Like I don't know, you guys know what I'm talking about. But like Mount Raidermore means a lot to me, so I would like for a lot of Mount Raidermore to be here when something like that would happen.
I will say, we will, after this live show.
How about this? I will put a deal on the table for 93 Navman to become part of Mount Raidermore
On Sunday.
if Mount Raidermore, the Silver and Black Hills, the Raiders Report Real Ones show up on Sunday.
Oh, God. Navman.
Is that a fair deal?
Navman, I love you. Please don't tell me you did this.
I mean it, man. Like, is that a fair deal? Is it a fair deal?
I think we do it on Sunday.
Bro, there's no way, man.
Is that the right number?
I don't even know. I don't even want to click it.
Oh, actually, wait. This is VT Holmes, if you're here.
All right, hang on.
VT Holmes, because he said he's actually sending this for Emma.
Okay.
VT Holmes, are you here?
I know. We gotta. I don't know if VT's here. So. I mean, this is cool. So here's the thing, okay? Here's what we're gonna do. Let me just write this down. I know it's kind of maybe I'll call it lame because I gotta write this down, but VT Holmes. I need to be able to remember this because I don't want to forget it, and obviously these shows kind of get crazy. All right, let me just document this so I can send this to some of our shipping department people. Not the right number. Minus
10.
No. It's a bang.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It's a bang.
For Emma.
Navman! Bang! Dude, I'm telling you what, though. How about this? If you're down, are we good on all of our drinking? I don't know. Let me ask that before I make this deal. Are we good on our drinking? I think we are.
Yes. I can't stay for that much longer because I have to work with Justin on a couple things.
All right.
So depending on what the deal is.
No, the deal is this. One wheel spin.
Okay.
Just for Navman. If it's on me, I'm telling it's going to end right away. But that was also Chuggs telling me he's got to go.
We have new people, and I'm supposed to be working with him to
I will
end the
say
day.
this. Our show was supposed to end, but I got you.
I have to do something with him before the end of the day. And I know that just sounded weird the way I just said that.
Here we go. For Navman. All right, I instantly regret this decision. I thought it was going to be fun. I really thought it was actually going to be fun. It's not fun at all. I was actually hoping it was going to land on you. It's the biggest backfire of all time. All right.
That's hilarious.
Also, T.J. Parkinson! Bang!
Navman said no drinking required, so we'll just say that wheel spin was for TJ.
Oh. Holy cow, man.
That wheel spin was for TJ. That's my boy, Blue.
Dude, I'm not going to lie to you. That's crazy. Nab man, real talk, dude. Congratulations on winning this 1,800 bottle tequila. Like, honestly, this is really dope. Like, they don't even sell these. So, I hope you enjoy it. Hopefully, you crack it open next season when the Raiders win the Super Bowl and we can all enjoy it. Yeah, crazy show. Crazy show. Here's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna get out the gimbal bong, Chuggs, and we're gonna do one before we get out of here. Cause I'm telling you this, Nabman.
Wait, what about the?
What? I still owe a boot.
That's what I was saying. That. Just do that for TJ.
Holy
and I actually
shit.
already have a boot loaded up for you.
That's just disturbing. All right. Yeah, that would have been bad. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, okay. All right. Let me just top her off a little bit, though. This is just a little bit. All right.
Going from the tippy top.
Well, not the tippy top, just right underneath the jewels. That sounds weird, actually.
Yeah.
All right, I'm not going to lie, guys. As soon as I'm done with this boot, I'm going to get the F out of here. Nabman, Zon, all the real ones out there. If you want Nabman to make Mount Raider more, pull up on Sunday. We're gonna have some Nabman deals. That's just how I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna have some Nabman.
We
deals.
have it written down. We're gonna try to send it to VT Homes on Sunday. $100 to VT Homes on Sunday.
Yeah, Nabman. I promise you, I have it written down. I have it on this list. I check it twice. We got you. And if not, like, you just keep hunting me down every day. You know where to find me. I'm gonna be here. I'm not gonna be able to hide. Chuggs, just can you hum closing time?
Na na na, ba da ba 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 da ba da ba ba ba, la na na, sha na 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 na, chow, ba bow bow. Ba da 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 alcohol, so ba 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 or beer, ba ba pull, da 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 ba ba pow, but now ladies did it chow, lady dee 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 down. Now. Happy New Year's, everybody. From me, from Mitch, and from all of Chat Sports.
Happy birthday, Chuggs.
Be safe. Uber tonight. It's
Seriously.
crazy, and we love you.